Chapter 1403. The Black Sarcophagus was huge. It was 100,000 zhang in size and completely black. A large amount of deathly aura covered it, turning it into a faintly discernible mist. What moved people the most was that there was a fragment of the ancient Tao tree on top of the sarcophagus. It opened up a void, preventing the death energy from entering. The underground palace was very simple. Apart from the black sarcophagus and a fragment of the ancient Tao tree, there was nothing else. It was empty, which was in accordance with the rumors. Boom, boom, boom. Below the underground palace, a few figures rushed out. Secret arts filled the air, shaking the heavens and the earth. The void was continuously shattered and restored. The weakest of these people was peak second level of great Tao power. As expected, someone was one step ahead of us, Demon Emperor Thoreau said. They seemed to be from the celestial court. One of the people who rushed into the sky was wearing a golden yellow robe. He faced 8 experts alone, using mystic arts and secret arts at will. The 8 experts combined couldn't do anything to him. The golden yellow robed man punched. A golden dragon flew out with a shocking roar, shaking away the 8. You have no chance in front of me. Emperor-level world destruction fist. Suddenly, a terrifying aura spread out. The golden yellow-robed man used his true strength. His first move was a great secret art fist art. Heaven and earth started to change color. He killed 3 peak immortal emperors with one punch, each of them reaching the 3rd level. It's him, Immortal Emperor Huang Long, Demon Emperor Thoreau, and the other 2's expressions changed. They saw that the person being attacked was one of the experts from the celestial court. The 8 peak immortal emperors didn't even last 3 breaths of time before they were killed by Immortal Emperor Huang Long. They were all smashed to pieces by the domineering fist art. A bunch of ants, you think you can take the fragment of the ancient Tao tree and the celestial sovereign's sarcophagus? Immortal Emperor Huang Long said arrogantly. Suddenly, he shot out a cold light. Experts of the forsaken immortal land, you want to attack? Aren't you afraid that I will kill you? Immortal Emperor Huang Long looked up and shot out a cold light. Demon Emperor Thoreau stood on the warship. Tao friend Huang Long, everyone who sees such a good thing gets a share. Do you want to take it all for yourself? Immortal Emperor Huang Long's gaze landed on a young man. The thing in your hand is not bad. I want it. They came from the forsaken land of immortals and were notorious villains. The immortal court was an existence that had disappeared a long time ago and was constantly being pursued by the 2 palaces. Now, they actually dared to show off in front of him. The 3 couldn't take it. Tao friend Yellow Dragon, your tone is truly arrogant. Don't think that you can defeat the 4 of us just because you defeated the 8 of them. Demon Emperor Tianhen sneered. The experts of our forsaken immortal land are 10,000 times stronger than them. Tao friend Huang Long, as long as you agree, we won't attack. Demon Emperor Luo, Jiu followed up. You are only at the peak of the 3rd level of the great Tao energy, yet you can use the 4th level secret technique. But even if we risk our lives, you won't have it easy either. Lin Fei didn't say anything, but he could barely make out some things. This immortal Huang Long came from the immortal court, so his talent should be quite good. He had cultivated to the peak of the 3rd level and had cultivated a powerful secret art, allowing him to unleash a portion of the power of the 4th level. That was why Demon Emperor Solo and the others were wary of them. Lin Fei was secretly shocked. The first expert of the immortal court he met was already so powerful. What about the other experts of the immortal court? How much power did the immortal court leave behind? It's mine. No one can take it away. Immortal Emperor Huang Long sneered. I've always found you prisoners an eyesore. If it weren't for the ruler, you would have been imprisoned in the forsaken land of immortals for the rest of your lives. Don't even think about coming out. Today, I'll teach you a good lesson. In front of the orthodox immortal court, you're nothing. These words thoroughly enraged the 3 demon emperors. This was the last thing they wanted to hear about. The forsaken immortal land was huge, but there was no immortal chi inside. Unless they relied on a powerful existence, there was no way they could survive. Whoever dared to mention this matter was equivalent to removing a scar. This was something that no one could tolerate. Let's attack together and kill him. Demon Emperor Thoreau urged the battleship to ram forward fiercely, and a large amount of death chi evaporated. The body of the emperor is indestructible. Immortal Emperor Huang Long's body shook, and his yellow robe flew up. His aura changed, and he was the strongest in the world. He slammed his palm towards the fierce tiger battleship. Boom! This collision was a draw. Immortal Emperor Huang Long didn't even move. The fierce tiger battleship rammed again, and it turned into a series of afterimages as it continuously rammed towards immortal Emperor Huang Long. This collision was more than 100 times, and Demon Emperor Thoreau was using his full strength. It's useless. In front of my body of the Emperor, all attacks are useless. Immortal Emperor Huang Long laughed arrogantly and disdainfully. Heaven Emperor, I'm afraid you're the only one here who can deal with his body of the Emperor. Demon Emperor Thoreau said in a low voice, his corporeal body is too strong. We can't do anything to him. Lin Fei witnessed the extraordinariness of the immortal court. This corporeal body received a strange blessing, and it could prevent the corporeal body from breaking. After witnessing the power of an immortal reverend, Lin Fei felt that this blessing was even stranger than an immortal reverend's power. As long as this body of the emperor was broken, immortal Emperor Huang Long would lose at least 30 to 40% of his strength. Heaven Emperor, only you can go now. We will support from the side. Demon Emperor Tianhen also said. Lin Fei thought, these 3 shameless fellows, they want me to go so quickly. They definitely want me to perish together with him, or even injure each other so that they can reap the benefits. I can go too. Lin Fei said, the ancient Dao tree shard on the stone coffin must belong to me alone. Bastard. He still dared to take advantage of the situation. Lin Fei wasn't that easy to fool. Immortal Emperor Huang Long was extraordinary. If he went up and fought to the death, it would be a pity if he didn't reap some benefits. The 3 didn't dare to show it. Only Heaven Emperor could compete with immortal Emperor Huang Long, who had the body of the emperor. We agree, Demon Emperor Thoreau said. The prerequisite is that immortal Emperor Huang Long must be chased away. Otherwise, we won't agree. They were also worried that if they didn't put in any effort during this period of time, they would be the ones to suffer. They didn't want such a thing to happen. All right, Lin Fei flew out from the warship. Taoist Huang Long, I'll fight you. With the ancient Tao tree shard in hand, the power of the great Tao erupted, transforming into an immortal light that blasted out. Immortal Huang Long said smugly, I really like the ancient Tao tree shard in your hand. As long as I refine it, I might be able to break through. I have to thank you properly. Boom, boom, boom. Immortal light exploded. Immortal Huang Long blasted through the immortal light, his body swaying slightly. Star-seizing hand. A large hand descended from the sky, dotted with stars and at a strange angle. It directly grabbed at the ancient Tao technique shard. Lin Fei activated the ancient Tao tree shard and blasted it. No matter what secret art it was, he would use his strength to break it. Boom! This pair of hands blasted out with a terrifying force. The star-seizing hand contained another killing move. Lin Fei's entire body went numb. It was many times more powerful than when the fierce tiger warship had rammed into him. Not bad, not bad. You actually blocked it. Immortal Huang Long's star-seizing hand secret art contained 2 transformations. If an outsider didn't know about it, they would either be killed or heavily injured by the star-seizing hand. A mere star-seizing hand is useless against me. Lin Fei stepped forward and activated the ancient Tao tree. You cultivate the Son of Heaven's body secret art. I also cultivate a divine body. Let's see who's afraid of whom. Although immortal Huanglong looked down on the people of the forsaken immortal land, he knew how powerful they were. For example, immortal Paragon Rongzhan had even dared to attack a ruler, and this person in front of him was stronger than all of them. Immortal Huanglong had always been proud. After cultivating the peerless secret art, the Son of Heaven's body, he naturally didn't care about ordinary divine bodies. Today, I will let you experience the might of Son of Heaven, Son of Heaven's divine fist. As immortal Huanglong laughed, his fist art changed again. Each punch was like Son of Heaven, possessing heavenly might. His might soared into the sky, causing the expressions of the 3 demon emperors on the warship to change. In the same realm, immortal Huanglong was much stronger than them. They hadn't even seen the secret art he used, especially the Son of Heaven's divine fist, which contained the might of Son of Heaven. In front of this fist art, they seemed to have become subjects, and their strength was somewhat restricted. Everyone, hurry and help the celestial Darch. Now was not the time for them to plot against others. Without the celestial Darch in front of them, it was basically impossible for them to take down the celestial sovereign's sarcophagus. They had no choice but to do their best to distract immortal Huanglong. This immortal Huanglong's fist art is so strong. It even contains the might of Son of Heaven. I almost fell for it. The moment the Son of Heaven's divine fist appeared, Lin Fei's mind trembled. It was like he had become a subject. How could a subject dare to attack Son of Heaven? The great Tao of true self in his body surged, breaking through the pressure. The great Tao of true self stabilized his heart, and the might of Son of Heaven was useless. Lin Fei activated the ancient Tao tree fragment and punched out, clashing with immortal Huanglong. Their battle caused the heavens to collapse and the earth to crack. It was unknown how many times the void was torn apart. Of the two, one had a ferocious fist art, while the other relied on the ancient Tao tree fragment. Their bodies were extremely powerful, and they weren't afraid of being injured at all. It could be said that it was a battle of the strong. Who are you? Immortal Huanglong was very conceited. Once he used the Son of Heaven's divine fist as subjects, few could withstand it. The power of the great Tao also contained the principles of a ruler and subject. Only the immortal court had this secret art. Celestial Darch, Lin Fei laughed loudly. You are the Son of Heaven, and I am your father. You want to use a mere Son of Heaven's divine fist to deal with your father? This is treason. Lin Fei instantly blasted out over 100 attacks. The surging great Tao of true self bolstered him, shattering the Son of Heaven that filled the sky. His fist landed on immortal Huanglong's body, sending him flying and crashing into the underground palace. The underground palace was abnormally sturdy. It was actually fine after this collision. Fellow Taoist Celestial Darch. The 3 demon emperors saw a glimmer of hope. At least there was someone who could resist immortal Huanglong. Immortal Huanglong was not injured. The body of the Son of Heaven was still bolstered. He stared at Qinyu and said, "What a good Celestial Darch. You are actually unaffected by the Son of Heaven's divine fist, and your body is also so powerful. It is not inferior to the body of the Son of Heaven. Then you are qualified to enjoy my Emperor-grade World Annihilation Fist." Boom! The fierce tiger warship collided. Chapter 1404. Immortal Huanglong executed a powerful secret technique, and with a single punch he shook the fierce tiger warship that was jointly activated by the 3 demon emperors. His entire body emitted an incomparably powerful aura. Do you see that? The demon emperors of the forsaken immortal land are only slightly stronger in front of me. Immortal Huanglong's eyes flashed. You will soon become like them. The royal class apocalyptic fist was immortal Huanglong's most powerful trump card. The fourth level of power. Immortal Huang Long stepped forward. His sovereign apocalyptic fist exuded a terrifying might. When he punched out, the heavens and earth shook, causing the void to shatter for 1 billion miles. He was like an invincible immortal. Only if you defeat me will you have the right to say it. Lin Fei could sense the might of the Royal World Annihilation Fist. As Immortal Huang Long punched out, a beam of immortal light shot out. Lin Fei met it head-on, sending out a punch of his own. As soon as the two fists collided, Lin Fei's blood and qi churned violently. Blood seeped out of his body, and in that instant his physical body felt like it would completely collapse. The great Tao of True Self strengthened his body and stabilized it. With this punch, Lin Fei knew how powerful the fourth level was. He had fused the Thousand Gates divine body and turned it into a unique divine body, but he was still shaken to the point where his qi and blood surged and spilled out. Ordinary people would not be able to do that. The power of the fourth level was indeed terrifying. Immortal Huang Long instantly punched out more than 10 times. Immortal light surged into the sky like the sea, illuminating the entire region. Within a radius of billions of miles, no one could approach. Anyone who approached would be torn apart by the power. On the fierce tiger worship, the 3 demon emperors were pale. They controlled the worship and ran out. Their faces were filled with terror. Immortal Huang Long is actually this powerful. With the 3 of us joining forces, even the Sky Emperor from before didn't bring us so much fear. I wonder if the Celestial Arch can withstand it. The 3 of them naturally hoped that the Celestial Emperor would be able to hold on. That way, they would have a chance to seize the ancient Tao tree fragment or even the immortal sovereign's coffin. Right now, the battle was so intense that they didn't dare to approach. It was clearly a small step away, but in reality, the difference was worlds apart. They were too far behind. Immortal Huang Long, it seems like your Emperor-level world-destroying fist is only SOSO. Lin Fei, who was in the middle of the attack, constantly stimulated the ancient Tao tree fragment. Large swathes of immortal light shattered, and Lin Fei spat out a mouthful of blood that dyed his clothes red. He wasn't too heavily injured. How could you be fine? Immortal Huang Long's punches grew faster and faster. Just what sort of divine body have you cultivated? The most powerful divine body under the heavens is in our immortal court. How could you have possibly cultivated it? Large amounts of fist radiance transformed into immortal light, containing an unparalleled might. It was enough to crush anyone, causing them to flee upon hearing it. It was not very useful against Lin Fei. Lin Fei rejoiced that his divine body had fused with 1,000 divine bodies, allowing his physical body to rise to another level. Although Immortal Huang Long's royal-grade world annihilation fist had an invincible might, it had not been cultivated to the great perfection realm. Its might was limited, allowing Lin Fei to withstand it. The strongest divine body under the heavens is not something that the immortal court can decide. Lin Fei stimulated the ancient Tao tree fragment as well as the 5 great sword energies, cutting apart the immortal light and reducing a portion of its power. I already said that you can't do anything to me. We've only done this for nothing. Immortal Huang Long was an extremely prideful immortal. From the moment he entered the battlefield, he had been as savage as a tiger. Anyone he encountered would either die or flee, causing his confidence to explode. You don't need to scare the seat with those words. This seat is not a 3-year-old child. Don't think that you can withstand my royal-grade world annihilation fist. Perhaps you are already an arrow at the end of its flight. This seat will definitely destroy you. Immortal Huang Long's aura rose to the limit. Fist after fist, he punched out over 100 times. He was determined to destroy his opponent. After an incense stick's worth of time, Lin Fei was still enduring. An hour later, Lin Fei was still as lively as ever. 2 hours later, Immortal Huanglong was on the verge of vomiting blood. His body was clearly on the verge of collapse, but he was able to persist every time. Immortal Huanglong didn't know what to say about such a monstrous fellow. After 2 hours of battle, Immortal Huanglong used all his means. During this time, he used several secret arts and divine abilities to support the Royal Grade World Annihilation Fist. However, they were all destroyed by his opponent's great sword energies. Immortal Huanglong, are you going to continue or not? Lin Fei stimulated a large amount of immortal light formed from the power of the Great Tao. Immortal Huanglong's fist shattered the immortal light, and he stopped. He had a complicated expression. Heavenly Emperor, this seat will remember you. You are the only person that this seat can't do anything to. If it wasn't for the fact that this seat's secret art has yet to reach the large success stage, you can forget about having it so easy today. Although Lin Fei looked relaxed, his true self Great Tao was being consumed quickly. The power of the 4th level was indeed terrifying. No matter what you say, you can't do anything to me today. That is the truth. Lin Fei laughed. As for what will happen next time, who knows? Perhaps I will beat you until all your teeth fall out. Immortal Huanglong sneered. Stop dreaming. It is impossible for you to make this seat leave. This seat will make it clear. This celestial sovereign sarcophagus is mine, even if it is only half of it. Hua, his sharp gaze shot towards Demon Emperor Thoreau and the other two, scaring them into revealing looks of fear. They stood billions of miles away, not daring to approach. The black sarcophagus. Lin Fei felt that it was strange. It was far less worthwhile than the ancient Tao tree fragment on the black sarcophagus. The ancient Tao tree fragment belongs to me, Lin Fei said. As for the items inside the celestial sovereign's sarcophagus, we can talk about them after I open it. Immortal Huanglong couldn't do anything to Lin Fei. Although the ancient Tao tree fragment was not bad, compared to the items inside the celestial sovereign's sarcophagus, there was still a huge difference. At this time, Immortal Huanglong didn't want to make things too tense. Immortal Huanglong could only endure a fellow whose divine body could withstand an Emperor-grade World Annihilation Fist. When his strength increased once more, he would definitely blow up this celestial arch once more. The ancient Tao tree fragment belongs to you. The 3 demon emperors on the warship revealed helpless looks. They had originally hoped for the 2 of them to mutually injure each other. It would be pretty good if they could kill one of them. Who could have expected this to be the final outcome? Immortal Huanglong and the Celestial Arch stopped fighting. Instead, they began talking about the Celestial Sovereign's sarcophagus. The 3 of them felt like they had been ignored. They felt stifled, but no matter how displeased they were, they didn't dare attack. Immortal Huanglong might just kill them. The ancient Tao tree fragment belongs to me now. Lin Fei returned to the sky above the underground palace. They had fought repeatedly, but this place wasn't affected at all. It was the same as before. Immortal Huanglong and Demon Emperor Thoreau also appeared above the underground palace. They had no objections to Lin Fei taking the ancient Tao tree fragment. Collect! Lin Fei grabbed out with his hand, grabbing the ancient Tao tree fragment. The ancient Tao tree fragment on the black sarcophagus released a large expanse of immortal light that blasted towards Lin Fei's palm. Rise! Lin Fei's arm trembled. His flesh and blood were mangled, but they quickly recovered. The immortal light shattered, and the ancient Tao tree fragment was grabbed by Lin Fei. It was as heavy as the previous one, and he almost couldn't lift it. Boom! 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 Lin Fei used all of his strength. The immortal light constantly shattered, but he couldn't shake off Lin Fei's arm. The ancient Tao tree fragment was finally pulled out, landing in Lin Fei's hand. Another ancient Tao tree fragment had been obtained. Once the ancient Tao tree fragment was in his hand, the black sarcophagus suddenly emitted a cracking sound. Chapter 1405. Now that Lin Fei had taken the ancient Tao tree fragment, neither immortal Huanglong nor the 3 demon emperors dared to question him. A single punch from immortal Huanglong had caused them to vomit blood. Lin Fei had fought a fierce battle with immortal Huanglong. Immortal Huanglong had used all his techniques, but still could not do anything to Lin Fei. He had no choice but to stop and settle things peacefully. Naturally, he was on the same level as immortal Huanglong. The 3 demon emperors had yet to recover from their shock. How could the celestial Thearcha's body improve so quickly in such a short period of time? He was able to withstand the power of the 4th level. Even they could not do this. Seeing the celestial Darch take away the ancient Tao tree fragment, the 3 demon emperors felt as if their hearts were being cut by knives. Immortal Huanglong, whom they could not defeat, was standing right next to him. The stone coffin is moving. The moment the ancient Tao tree fragment was taken away, the black stone coffin moved. With a crack, the entire underground palace began to move. The 3 demon emperors were already in a state of shock. When the black stone coffin moved, they trembled in fear. Immortal Huanglong and Lin Fei both frowned. Ka, before they could recover from their shock. The black stone coffin began to move once more. The upper lid began to move, and a crack appeared on the originally sealed stone coffin. The black crack was like a bottomless pit. Someone has finally come again. A faint voice came from within the stone coffin, filled with a bone-chilling aura. Whoosh! From within the crack in the stone coffin, a white bone hand reached out. The surrounding area for billions of kilometers instantly darkened as the white bone hand covered the entire region. Immortal Huanglong, Lin Fei, and the others fell into the white bone hand. It was most likely a divine ability. Not good. It's not an immortal sovereign inside. The white bone hand transformed into a palm that emanated an evil aura. He, the cold voice rang out once more. One of the white bone hand's 5 fingers suddenly flicked at Demon Emperor Thoreau, transforming into a sharp energy. Demon Emperor Thoreau pushed the fierce tiger worship forward in an attempt to block this killing intent. Bang! The fierce tiger worship, which could even cause Lin Fei to suffer a small loss and which even immortal Huanglong couldn't break for the time being, had a large hole pierced through by the powerful qi. It heavily damaged the worship and shot towards Demon Emperor Thoreau. Demon Emperor Thoreau didn't expect to be blasted into pieces. Dead. Demon Emperor Thoreau fell down and was immediately absorbed by the white bone palm. Not even his corpse was left, and everything became nourishment for the white bone palm. An immortal emperor of the 3rd level was killed in the blink of an eye. Everyone's expression changed, especially the remaining 2 demon emperors, who were filled with horror. Go! The 2 demon emperors flew out one after another. The end of the billion miles was blocked by a force. The 2 of them couldn't break through this force, even if they worked together. Stop struggling. All of you are nourishment for this emperor. Ha! The white bone finger flicked twice, killing Devil Monarch Tianhen and Devil Monarch Jiuluo. The attack of the white bone palm was too strong. It could form a world of its own. Although the 2 of them were strong, they were no match for him. It seems like we have become his last dinner. Lin Fei smiled. Immortal Huanglong wasn't in a good mood. After fighting with the celestial Darch, he was exhausted. He was about to open the stone coffin and obtain the treasure left behind by the celestial sovereign, but it seemed like he had worked for nothing. This stone coffin had been taken by someone else first. It's all your fault. If you didn't take the ancient Tao tree shard, how could this thing escape? Immortal Huanglong said angrily, Now we have a powerful enemy. Killing 3 demon emperors with a flick of his hand. Immortal Huanglong knew that he couldn't do it unless his secret art reached a high level. But now there was a clear gap. You can't blame me for this. Who asked you to not leave back then? Lin Fei retorted. This is the result of greed. Immortal Huang Long couldn't find a reason for his words. A moment later, he returned to normal, his eyes sharp. Emperor Grade whirled Annihilation Fist. He attacked. Lin Fei didn't hesitate. He activated the ancient Dao tree shard in one direction. Immortal light slammed into that layer of power, and the great sword Qi secret art sliced through it. Lin Fei felt sullen. He had only taken the ancient Dao tree shard, but he had made a powerful enemy instead. The power of the white bone palm was unimaginable. As expected, the white bone palm didn't budge at all. Even the tyrannical great sword Qi secret art, 5 beams of sword Qi, couldn't break through the power of the palm. Whoosh whoosh, 2 white bone fingers shot towards them. An invincible pressure came crashing down. The 2 of them didn't dare to be distracted. They each activated their powers to block the white bone fingers. Bang bang! The 2 of them were both sent flying. Their flesh was shattered and white bones could be seen. Their bodies recovered and were shattered again. This happened over 100 times before stopping. Both Immortal Huanglong and Lin Fei coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. The 4th level of power. This wasn't Immortal Huanglong's half-baked power. Cough, cough, cough. Lin Fei coughed out blood and thought to himself, what kind of strange person is hiding in the stone coffin? His divine ability and secret art are so powerful that he can injure me with a single finger. A voice came from above the white bone palm. I didn't expect that when this emperor woke up, 2 excellent bodies would be delivered to me. Even the heavens are helping this emperor. Ha ha ha. The cold voice continued. Let this emperor wipe away your consciousnesses and become this emperor's spokespeople in the outside world. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The white bone fingers kept flicking out, each with the same power. Immortal Huanglong and Lin Fei found it extremely difficult to block. They were hit by the 2 white bone fingers until they coughed out blood, and their bodies were in tatters. Celestial Darch, this seat will leave first. You can slowly become his spokesperson. Immortal Huanglong was sent flying again, coughing out blood. He took out an immortal talisman and laughed at Lin Fei. He tore the immortal talisman apart, and terrifying immortal light shot towards the white bone palm. A hole was torn open, and Immortal Huang Long flashed out. He didn't care whether he lived or died. He was in a hurry to escape. An immortal talisman, refined by an immortal sovereign. A faint voice came from the white bone palm. No emotion could be heard from it. The 5 pure white fingers all flicked out. If he escapes, then you can be this emperor's spokesperson. The 5 fingers shot out together. The power was so great that even Lin Fei felt his scalp go numb. This Immortal Huang Long fellow, he didn't use this thing. He took advantage of me drawing the other party's attention to run away. He really isn't a good person. Lin Fei cursed. The fellow in the stone coffin must have a powerful background. If I don't leave immediately, I'll be in danger for too long. I can only take a risk. Immortal Huang Long left. The white bone palm shrank from 1,000,000,000,000 miles to 50,000,000 miles, becoming incomparably tough. It was set up specifically to deal with Lin Fei. If Lin Fei wanted to leave the white bone palm, he had to explode with a powerful force, enough to break through the white bone palm. And that force had to be at the 4th level. Lin Fei transformed into a giant with 3 heads and 6 arms. He was 1,000,000 feet tall. He opened his mouth and swallowed a fragment of the ancient Dao tree. Boom! The moment the fragment of the ancient Dao tree swallowed it, a terrifying great Dao power exploded out and swept through his body. In almost an instant, Lin Fei's body was about to explode from the power. The true self, world-destroying, sword flew out and landed in Lin Fei's hand. Hua! The power of the great Dao was very strong. Lin Fei's true self, great Dao, was not to be trifled with. It also exploded with an invincible might, suppressing the great Dao power like a subject meeting his king. And this was Lin Fei's chance. The great Tao power surged towards the true self, world-destroying sword. At this time, Lin Fei needed a target to vent, and the white bone palm was the best target. Extreme sword, third stance, sword like heaven. This was a move from the second level of the ruler's sword art. Lin Fei had not fully grasped it. He could just barely unleash 50% to 60% of its power. This should be enough for him. Large amounts of great Tao power surged in before he dared to use this sword. The power of this sword was not inferior to the white bone palm. It contained the most terrifying sword Tao tyranny. The originally vast great Tao energy nearly caused Xiao Chen's physical body to explode. However, with this sword strike, all of it was absorbed like flowing water. Suddenly, a black sword appeared in the skeletal hand, towering between heaven and earth. The sword pierced through the skeletal hand, and the sword light was like a multicolored light, destroying most of the skeletal hand. Lin Fei took out the black stream of wind, pushed it to the limit, and turned into a stream of light. Damn it! A furious voice came from the black stone coffin. The voice traveled very, very far. Only then did the black coffin completely calm down. The crack that had been opened closed again. On the black stone coffin, an old man in his 50s appeared. He was not tall and he looked very cold. The sword technique just now was so domineering. The power of the sword Tao was displayed to the fullest. It is a pity that a good representative broke this emperor's white bone palm mystique. This emperor will remember that kid. As long as I devour a few more powerful immortal emperors, this emperor will be able to reconstruct his body and return to the world. It is a pity that the ancient Tao tree fragment is gone. The faint voice vanished into the void. Lin Fei did not stop. He used the black stream of wind to fly forward. He did not stop at all, afraid that the black stone coffin would catch up to him. This flight lasted for half a month. Lin Fei did not feel the cold aura of the black stone coffin. He landed in a seemingly safe abandoned palace. Lin Fei sat down on the ground, looking extremely exhausted. The black stone coffin really screwed me over. It caused me to lose a fragment of the ancient Tao tree. Lin Fei shook his head helplessly. Luckily, I still have a fragment of the ancient Tao tree. A fragment of the ancient Tao tree could activate Sword Like Heaven, and its power could break the other party's white bone palm. This was equivalent to having a temporary trump card. The land of destruction is indeed dangerous. I almost died there. Lin Fei had already figured it out. Within the black stone coffin, there might be an immortal sovereign, but it is definitely not an immortal sovereign. It is someone else. The ancient Tao tree fragment is only used to tempt people, using the white bone palm to devour the other party's flesh and blood. What a vicious method. There are still about 20 years until the agreement. I should first cultivate the great sword Qi secret art. This will save me the trouble of meeting those experts from the immortal court. One immortal Huanglong is scary enough. The next time I meet him, I might not be so lucky. Chapter 1406. It's done. In a seemingly safe place in the third region, a figure emerged from the void and stood in the abandoned palace, revealing a smile. Thanks to the large number of star mountains and the system's time acceleration, I finally raised the great sword Qi secret technique to the peak of the 4th level. This black-robed man was naturally Lin Fei. Ever since he escaped from the skeletal palm, Lin Fei had found a safe place to cultivate the great sword Qi secret technique in seclusion. The 2 Starstone Mountains were exchanged for more than 10 times the points of the Starstone Mountain that the Sky Demon Realm Lord had provided that day. With time acceleration, Lin Fei had spent a total of 3,000 years. 15 years had passed in the outside world, and there were still 6 to 7 years before the agreed time. This speed was already very fast. Lin Fei flicked his finger, and a great sword Qi pierced through the void until it reached the 7th level before stopping. The power of a flick was so terrifying. Lin Fei was quite satisfied. Even if I encounter the black stone coffin again, I believe that the skeletal palm won't be able to trap me. Lin Fei thought, unless an immortal venerable makes a move. With his strength greatly increased, Lin Fei used a few days to master the Great Sword Qi secret technique. The Great Sword Qi secret technique has reached the 4th level, and the 2 star stone mountains have been used up by 2/3. I have to take advantage of the remaining 6 to 7 years to collect a few more. Lin Fei hurried on his way again. There were no star stone mountains in the 3rd region, so Lin Fei went straight to the 4th region. The map indicated that there were 6 star stone mountains in the 4th region, and each of them was very far away from each other. Some of them had great dangers nearby. Lin Fei could only attack the relatively safer star stone mountains. The destructive death aura in the 4th region increased in power again, and it constantly corroded his body. Even Lin Fei himself gradually felt a little strained. So far, Lin Fei could hold on. A month later, Lin Fei found the first starstone mountain and successfully collected it. He did not stop and rushed to the next place. It wasn't as if they didn't run into attacks from the undead warriors. Their attacks were even more powerful, and they were undying and indestructible. Their shattered bodies could be reconstructed once again. They were equivalent to peerless experts at the 4th level of the Great Tao. Lin Fei relied on the Great Sword Qi secret technique to shred the battle generals into pieces. He couldn't even use his immortal body. In just a few years in the 4th region, Lin Fei had collected the Starstone Mountains in 4 different regions. During this time, he had gone to a few other regions to collect Starstone Mountains. However, those regions were filled with dangerous restrictions. Once he touched them, he would be attacked. Even Lin Fei was afraid of the dangerous aura emitted by those restrictions. He had been in danger several times. Lin Fei did not dare to ask for the remaining Starstone Mountains. If he was given time, he could collect them all. On the way, Lin Fei upgraded his divine body again. The world-devastating death qi in the 4th region was already terrifying enough. The power of the world-devastating death qi in the 5th region would definitely increase again. Lin Fei had to improve his physical body as well. With the 4 huge Starstone Mountains in hand, Lin Fei activated time acceleration while merging the divine bodies one after another. His physical body was getting stronger every day. It could be said that in the last few years, Lin Fei had been upgrading his divine body on the Black Wind. Now, his divine body would improve no matter how much he improved. A few years passed in a flash. Under the time acceleration, Lin Fei had cultivated for more than 1,000 years. His physical body had also successfully cultivated from 1,000 divine bodies to 2,000 divine bodies, merging them into a unique divine body. The last year, Lin Fei arrived at the edge of the 5th region. As soon as he entered, the chaotic world, devastating death qi whizzed over. It contained a terrifying power and turned into circles of ripples that spread across Lin Fei's body. The power has actually increased by more than 30 times. Lin Fei's body, which had been upgraded to 2,000 divine bodies, felt his body go numb from the world-devastating death qi. It was far from what the previous region could compare to. Luckily, I was prepared. Lin Fei thought. In the 5th region, the world-devastating death qi has become violent. Immortals with weak bodies will not be able to endure it after being hit by the world-devastating death qi for more than 100 times, or even 1,000 times. They will have to leave. Lin Fei took out a message talisman and sent out a message, saying that he had arrived at the 5th region. This was what they had agreed upon previously. In the 5th region, the world-devastating death qi rampaged wildly. The palaces were intact. This caused Lin Fei to be shocked. Wintry Palace. Heaven Shaker Gate. Lin Fei carefully looked around. Many of the palaces were empty. However, The signboards had the words Great Sex or Peak Sex on them. But under the eye of annihilation, they were still mercilessly devoured. Many of these palaces were empty. Some of the palaces even had their stone slabs dug away. It was unknown how many times they had been swept away. Whatever could be taken away was taken away. There are countless palaces in the 5th region. Lin Fei did not panic. He used his powerful divine perception to search, to see if he could find any palaces that had not been plundered. But it was a pity that this was Lin Fei's wishful thinking. Along the way, he had not found such a place. Almost all of them had been plundered, leaving nothing good behind. This search lasted for half a month, other than some scattered gains. Lin Fei did not get anything good. Half a month later, he received a reply from the Sky Demon Realm Lord through the message talisman. He said that they were in the center of the 5th region and asked him to hurry there. There was a tomb of an immortal sovereign here. When Lin Fei heard this, he could not help but think of the expert in the black stone coffin. Only an immortal sovereign expert could deal with it. The land of annihilation gave Lin Fei a more and more mysterious feeling. How many worlds had this eye of annihilation devoured? How many experts were buried in this land of annihilation? 8 months later, Lin Fei arrived at the center of the 5th region. This place was still filled with palaces, but these palaces were filled with an ancient aura. It was as though they had been here for a long time and gradually had an ancient aura. When he arrived at the center, Lin Fei sensed the auras of the Sky Demon Realm Lord and the other two. He flew in that direction and sensed the 3 in one of the palaces. Di Tian, we are here. In the palace below, the Sky Demon Realm Lord sent his divine perception. Lin Fei landed and entered the palace. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. As soon as Lin Fei entered, more than 10 divine perceptions swept over. Among them, there were a few powerful divine perceptions that pressed towards Lin Fei. It was as though they wanted to embarrass him in front of everyone. Humph. Lin Fei sensed the hostility from the divine perceptions. He snorted coldly and shot out his great sword qi, cutting through the void and severing the powerful divine perceptions. Then a groan was heard. The power of the great sword qi at the 4th level was not to be underestimated, even if he did not use his full strength. Di Tian, over here. Inside the palace stood 3 small groups. The weakest group was the Sky Demon Realm Lord's group. The Sky Demon Realm Lord waved his hand when he saw Di Tian. Chapter 1407. The Sky Demon Realm Lord and the other 2 gathered together. They did not expect Di Tian to cause such a ruckus as soon as he arrived and teach them a small lesson. For the 3 of them who had been ignored recently, this was equivalent to letting out a long sigh of relief. Friend Feng Luo, what is the meaning of this? The Sky Demon Realm Lord would not let them do anything. In just 30 years, Di Tian's strength had increased again, and he could easily block a few divine senses. They knew that inviting Di Tian was the right decision. The person who was dissatisfied with Lin Fei was called Immortal Emperor Feng Luo. This guy is called Immortal Emperor Feng Luo, and he works for the Sky Luo Demon Emperor of the 5 demons. I heard that he is very dissatisfied with you entering the top 100 on the power ranking list. Lin Fei was still feeling puzzled. Why would someone be hostile to him when he arrived? There were 3 groups in the palace. Lin Fei was not a fool. He could tell at a glance that the 3 forces had teamed up to open the Celestial Lord's tomb and were temporarily in a cooperative relationship. Now that he heard it, he knew what was going on. Needless to say, Lin Fei could also see that there were people on the power ranking list among them. That was why they had attacked just now. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo smiled. Ask Di Tian about this. He did not mention anything about using his divine senses to crush them. The Sky Demon Realm Lord did not look good either. He was the one who had called Di Tian over. The Sky Demon Realm Lord had naturally seen it and was unhappy. This was clearly not giving face to his family. Lin Fei quickly saw the situation in the palace. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo's 8 people were the strongest. 3 of them had powerful auras and were clearly at the 4th level of the Great Path power. The other 5 were also at the 3rd level. It was a huge lineup. Another group did not have many people, only 6 people. 2 of them were at the 4th level of the Great Path power, and the other 4 were at the 3rd level. The Sky Demon Realm Lord and the other 2 were the weakest. Only the Sky Demon Realm Lord had entered the 4th level, which was the early stage. Big Brother Sky Demon, I think we should leave. Lin Fei suddenly said, "There is nothing much to dig in this Celestial Lord's tomb. I happened to see another Celestial Lord's tomb on my way here. Let's go take a look." When Lin Fei said this, everyone's expression changed slightly. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo snorted coldly. Di Tian, I knew you didn't have any good intentions. The first thing you did was to injure someone, and now you're encouraging the Sky Demon to leave. You're harboring evil intentions. The 3 groups are in a cooperative relationship. If the Sky Demon Realm Lord left with his people, the Immortal Sovereign's tomb would not be opened, and their hopes of finding treasures would be cut short. The Sky Demon Realm Lord was also slightly stunned. When he saw Lin Fei inadvertently gesturing to him, he nodded and said, "Everyone, let's postpone the treasure hunt." The Sky Demon Realm Lord didn't know what was going on, but he knew that Di Tian wouldn't act recklessly. "How dare you?" Immortal Emperor Feng Luo's voice was cold as he took a step forward. "Fellow Sky Demon, it's fine if you want to leave. Leave the key behind and you can go wherever you want." Immortal Emperor Feng Luo was aggressive. The people behind him did not do anything, nor did they try to stop him. If Big Brother Sky Demon wants to leave, he can leave. You can't stop him with just one sentence. Lin Fei said, "Let's go." Di Tian, you're playing with fire. Another Immortal Emperor walked out with a cold glare. Although you're famous, you're not strong enough. I'm afraid you're at your limit if you can block this world-destroying death aura. Lin Fei laughed and said, "Think what you want. Anyway, there's no point in cooperating with you." The Sky Demon Realm Lord, the Blackhorn Realm Lord, and the Heaven Resentment Demon Emperor all looked unhappy. From the beginning of their cooperation, they didn't have much say and were always suppressed. They were already angry. "Let's go," said the Heaven Resentment Demon Emperor. Seeing that the Sky Demon Realm Lord and his people were really going to leave, it was beyond their expectations. They didn't want to see Di Tian change their minds with just one sentence. "I know, Di Tian, you're here to cause trouble." Immortal Emperor Feng Luo laughed coldly. "You're also an expert in the top 100 of the Wind Cloud list. I'm also an expert in the Wind Cloud list. I really want to know what gave you the right to enter the top 100. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo was an expert in the top 100. His ranking wasn't too high, temporarily at 89th. However, he had something to be proud of. His great path power was at the peak of the 3rd level, and he came from the 5-demon sect. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo opened his palm. His 5 fingers expanded and grabbed at Di Tian. A black vortex appeared, and a terrifying suction force enveloped Lin Fei's body. This great path power was the sharp power of metal. The void cracked open with a rustling sound. Everyone could sense a domineering and sharp aura from this black vortex. "You!" Lin Fei didn't care. He raised his hand and punched the black vortex. The black vortex was like a mirror, instantly shattering into pieces and exploding in front of everyone. The punch didn't stop there. It landed on Immortal Emperor Feng Luo's face, smashing his face into pieces. He was no longer as handsome as before. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo was furious. His face was smashed in one move. How could he take it lying down? He was about to rush forward and attack when a powerful voice came from behind him. "Feng Luo, come back." Immortal Emperor Feng Luo, who was about to attack, stopped. "My friend Di Tian, You are indeed a heaven-defying immortal emperor chosen by the two palaces. It was just a joke. You don't have to take it seriously. Moreover, Feng Luo has learned his lesson. A gray-robed elder said to Lin Fei with a mighty aura. This person is called a mortal emperor, Ku Rong. His great path power has reached the middle of the 4th level. You have to be careful. Lin Fei smiled. I think the lesson was too light. Don't think that you can put on airs in front of me just because I'm young. I, Lin Fei, am in the top 100 of the wind cloud list. If there's a next time, I will destroy you all with my sword, regardless of whether you are from the 5-demon sect or not. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo was furious, but he was stopped by a sharp gaze. The gray-robed elder said calmly, It's a good thing for a young man to be high-spirited. Don't try to show off just because you have some strength. When will you fail miserably? At this time, an elder from another group said with a smile, It's just a small misunderstanding. Since everyone is here, it's time to open the big tomb. We can't delay this matter any longer. This person was an expert under the 6 emperors. His name was Immortal Emperor Black Demon. Lin Fei stood together with the Sky Demon Realm Lord and the others. They were communicating through divine senses. Tian, you're getting bolder and bolder. I like your guts. You taught Immortal Emperor Feng Luo a good lesson just now. I wanted to teach him a lesson a long time ago. If it wasn't for opening the celestial supremacy, Heaven Resentment Demon Emperor said, your arrival helped them vent their anger. They won't dare to look down on us anymore. Blackhorn Realm Lord said with a smile. However, according to their temperament, I'm afraid they will hate us to the bone. They deserve it. If I hadn't broken through to the next realm, the key in my hand would have been snatched away by them. Sky Demon Realm Lord said with dissatisfaction. My friend Tian, you came at the right time. The 3 of them felt that their anger had been vented. Lin Fei said, What's going on with the Celestial Supremacy Tomb and this key? How can we cooperate with them? I don't think they are easy to negotiate with. They might even attack us in the end. We are asking a tiger for its skin. Regardless of whether it was the people from the 5 demons or the 6 emperors, none of them were good people. They dared to use their divine senses to suppress him from the very beginning. It was obvious. Sky Demon Realm Lord laughed bitterly and explained the ins and outs of the matter. This matter happened 5 years ago. They came to this area in search of opportunities. By chance, they obtained the key left behind by the Celestial Supremacy. Then they were chased. It wasn't until 3 years ago that they broke through to the next realm that they were tied. Using the key, they sensed this area. When they met Immortal Emperor Feng Luo and the others, they immediately attacked and wanted to snatch the key in their hands. Fortunately, Sky Demon Realm Lord had a trump card and managed to block it. They had no choice but to cooperate. At this realm, if everyone's strength was similar, it would be very difficult to kill each other, unless one of them cultivated the power of the great path to the peak of the 4th realm. Cooperation was cooperation. Their people looked down on Sky Demon Realm Lord and the others. When Lin Fei came, they came purely to disgust him, but they did not expect to be taught a lesson. Sky Demon Realm Lord also mentioned that there should be a mid-stage Celestial Supremacy powerhouse in the Celestial Supremacy realm. There should be fragments of the Tao tree left behind. If it was the whole thing for someone who was already at the peak of the 4th realm, breaking through to the Celestial Supremacy realm in one fell swoop. Whether it was the people from the 4 demons or the 5 emperors, they were all very concerned. Elder, why don't you teach Tian a lesson? This guy is too despicable. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo returned to normal, but he was in a bad mood. The Celestial Supremacy Tomb has not opened yet. If Sky Demon Realm Lord leaves, all our efforts will be in vain. The gray-robed elder said, As long as we go in, a few realm lords can do whatever they want. Little Feng, Your temper still needs to be tempered. The gray-robed elder was not in a hurry. He casually warned Immortal Emperor Feng Luo. Elder is right. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo nodded. When it opens, you have to follow us obediently. Remember not to make a move. The three groups quickly discussed. They would open the tomb below and search for the treasures left behind by the celestial supremacy. The three of them each took out a key and inserted it into a stone door under the palace. This stone door was extremely hard. Even they could not break it. Otherwise, they would have broken through long ago. The three keys were inserted into the stone door. The stone door made a clicking sound and opened automatically, revealing a black passage with no end in sight. Let's go. The passage could fit 7 or 8 people side by side. We don't know what this passage is like. We will have to trouble Sky Demon Realm Lord and the others. Once they entered the passage, the gray-robed elder and black demon Immortal Emperor had unknowingly agreed to work together to deal with Sky Demon Realm Lord. They bared their fangs and directly turned hostile, forcing the three of them to explore the path. You guys are really shameless. Lin Fei could feel the spiritual sense locked onto him, but he still spoke calmly. How can the treasures left behind by the celestial supremacy be so easy to obtain? We still need your help. Black Demon Immortal Emperor laughed. Don't make the 5 of us attack. Chapter 1408. With the 5 of us joining hands, I'm afraid that neither fellow Taoist Sky Demon nor you will be able to withstand our joint attack. If I were you, I would choose to enter obediently so that we don't harm each other's harmony. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong and the other 2 Immortal Emperors stood at the entrance of the passage. They were obviously blocking the exit. Speaking up to this point, his skin wasn't just an ordinary thick. The Sky Demon Realm Lord was furious. You guys are really shameless. If I had known, I would have left just now and wasted your efforts. Sky Demon, don't be angry. You can choose anything from the Celestial Venerables, as long as it's not the fragment of the Celestial Venerables Tao Tree. Immortal Emperor Ku Men stood up and said, I believe Ku Rong will agree. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong said, That's right. As long as you lead the way, you will get your share of the treasures. We will keep our word. How could the Sky Demon Realm Lord believe them? Who knew what would happen if they turned against him as soon as they entered the passage? The Sky Demon Realm Lord regretted not listening to Di Tian. If they left this place and wasted their efforts, they would not be able to say such words. Di Tian, aren't you very arrogant? I think you should just go and explore the path. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo said proudly. Who asked you to be weak? Without strength, you are not qualified to share the Celestial Venerable's supreme treasure. Lin Fei was not very angry. 5 powerhouses at the 4th level of the Great Path Power. After successfully cultivating the great sword Qi, coupled with his powerful divine body, he was not worried even if the 5 of them attacked him together. Sky Demon, let's go in. Lin Fei did not speak to Immortal Emperor Feng Luo, which made Immortal Emperor Feng Luo very unhappy. He made up his mind to kill Di Tian as soon as he saw the Celestial Venerable's burial ground. The Sky Demon Realm Lord also knew that resisting now was not good. There were 5 of them, and he could only handle 1 of them. If there were 2, it would be very stressful. Boom, boom, boom. There were many restrictions set up in the passage. The power of these restrictions was extraordinary. Even though they advanced carefully, they were still injured. Fortunately, time had passed, and the restrictions left by the Celestial Venerables were not as powerful as before. They walked and stopped along the way, breaking through the restrictions forcefully. Can you deal with 2 of them? Lin Fei and the Heaven Hatred Demon Emperor walked in front. 1 is fine, but 2 can only delay him for a short while. The Sky Demon Realm Lord said. What do you want to do? Don't mess around now. The Sky Demon Realm Lord knew Di Tian's character very well. Even though he was also very angry, it was just as Di Tian had said. They were the weakest and did not have the qualifications to share. Don't worry, I won't mess around. Lin Fei transmitted his voice. Later, Immortal Emperor Ku Rong and Immortal Emperor Ku Shan will fight, and the Immortal Emperor who is free will definitely deal with me. At that time, we will put on a good show for him. Di Tian, could it be that your strength is enough to fight against them? The Sky Demon Realm Lord was not stupid, and he immediately reacted. Lin Fei chuckled, barely. We're not the weakest. Maybe when the time comes, we'll be the biggest winners. If someone else said this, the Sky Demon Realm Lord would definitely be suspicious. However, Di Tian was different, and he could never be judged by normal standards. After breaking the restrictions for more than 10 days, Lin Fei and the Sky Demon Realm Lord both looked exhausted, and their injuries were not light. The end of the passage also slowly appeared. As the last restriction was broken, they walked out of the passage and found themselves in a large palace. At the end of a dozen or so large pillars was a black sarcophagus. Beside the black sarcophagus were 2 treasures that exuded a mighty aura. The Celestial Venerate's stone coffin? Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's gaze fell on the black stone coffin, and his divine sense could not see through it. He thought, it must be the Celestial Venerate's stone coffin. However, when Lin Fei saw the black stone coffin, his expression involuntarily changed. He nearly cursed out loud. *CK, the old thing in the black stone coffin really knows how to cause trouble. He actually ran all over the place and came here again. If it was the previous time, Lin Fei would immediately turn around and run away. After upgrading the Great Sword Qi secret technique, Lin Fei was confident that he could deal with this black stone coffin. Big Brother Sky Demon, don't leave my range later, and don't open the black stone coffin. Lin Fei secretly used his divine sense to inform the Sky Demon Realm Lord and the others of the situation. You know this black stone coffin. Yes, there's a powerful guy inside, and he's very evil. I almost died in his hands. Lin Fei simply explained, and the aura of the black stone coffin was the same as before. The Sky Demon Realm Lord was shocked. If he didn't say it, he would really open the stone coffin. After hearing Di Tian's words, cold sweat appeared on his back. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong transmitted his voice. Do it! With the Celestial Venerate's stone coffin in front of him and a trace of the Celestial Venerate's aura, Immortal Emperor Ku Rong no longer hesitated and transmitted his voice to his 2 junior brothers. Kill! His 2 junior brothers were both at the 4th level of the Great Path Power, and they launched a sneak attack on Immortal Emperor Ku Shan and the other 2 Immortal Emperors. They also prepared a sneak attack, but neither succeeded. It turned out that they had been guarding against each other. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's gaze locked onto the Sky Demon Realm Lord. The Celestial Venerate's stone coffin and treasures belong to the strong. You're not the strong one, I am. A great immortal light blasted towards the Sky Demon Realm Lord. Among the remaining 5 Immortal Emperors, 3 went to deal with the people under the 6 Emperors, and the remaining 2 attacked Di Tian. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo happened to be one of them. Di Tian, I said that I would kill you, and I will kill you today. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo laughed sinisterly, and the sky was filled with Jingguang. They were all formed by the Great Path Power, and they turned into a golden spear that pierced through the air. Black Cove, Hentian, I'll deal with this person. Lin Fei smiled, and faced with this domineering spear, he snorted coldly, and a sword aura appeared in his hand, slicing through the void. The indestructible golden spear was instantly split into 2. Broken into 2. You actually broke my spear. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo had long thought highly of Di Tian, but now he realized that he had underestimated him. My next sword will break you into 2. The sword aura in Lin Fei's hand shot towards Immortal Emperor Feng Luo. His words provoked Immortal Emperor Feng Luo and made him laugh. Do you think you're a celestial venerate? Ha ha ha. The great sword Aura was extremely sharp, and when immortal Emperor Feng Luo's spear stabbed, the great sword Aura floated and dodged it like a ribbon. It circled around immortal Emperor Feng Luo's body, and the great sword Aura once again landed in Lin Fei's hand. You tricked me. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo spat out blood, and his body was split into two. He fell from midair, and there was no longer any sign of life. Lin Fei said disapprovingly, I said I would kill you with one sword, and I'll kill you with one sword. I'm a man of my word, and you didn't take it seriously. Who can you blame? Little Feng. Chapter 1409. The fight only lasted for a short while. One of the immortal emperors that immortal Emperor Ku Rong brought was killed. The important thing was that he was killed by Di Tian. This result was out of immortal Emperor Ku Rong's expectation. The other immortal emperors who were fighting also widened their eyes in disbelief. Immortal Emperor Feng Luo was fighting Di Tian, which was allowed by immortal Emperor Ku Rong. Both of them were experts in the top 100 on the ranking list. In terms of strength, immortal Emperor Feng Luo was stronger, so it should be easy for him to take down Di Tian. Now that this had happened, immortal Emperor Ku Rong was infuriated. His great Tao energy turned into celestial light and continuously attacked the Sky Monster Realm Lord. The two of them were in the same cultivation realm, but the gap between them was not small. How could the Sky Monster Realm Lord block the furious immortal Emperor Ku Rong? Di Tian, you will die here today to accompany immortal Emperor Feng Luo. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's great Tao energy turned into a giant hand and slammed it on Di Tian's head. One could imagine the power of this attack. Everyone can talk big, but not everyone can do it. Lin Fei was not afraid. He slashed at the giant hand with his great sword Qi. Seeing that the distance was close, the great sword Qi suddenly exploded and cut the giant hand. After the great sword Qi cut the giant hand, Lin Fei used the remaining 4 great sword Qi and slashed at immortal Emperor Ku Rong like 5 ribbons. Hua hua hua. The power of the great sword Qi secret technique was fully unleashed. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's hands were in a mess and wounds were left on his body. He even used his treasures to block the 5 great sword Qi. You've mastered such a secret technique. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong was shocked. It took him a while to stabilize his opponent's attack. This is just the beginning. With the help of the 5 great sword Qi, Lin Fei used his 3 heads and 6 arms and slapped at immortal Emperor Ku Rong with his 6 arms. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong was forced to retreat. Damn it! Immortal Emperor Ku Rong had to defend against the great sword Qi and defend against Lin Fei's attacks. With his strength, his secret technique was enough to kill a cultivator of the 3rd level. However, it was ineffective against Di Tian. His physical body was ridiculously strong. Junior brother, come and help me. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's continuous attacks were blocked, but there were more and more wounds on his body. He no longer dared to underestimate the attack of the great sword Qi. So strong! Impossible! The other 4 4th-stage immortal emperors were dumbfounded. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong couldn't do anything to Di Tian? What was going on? Di Tian was unbelievably strong. Now that everyone was fighting, the other 2 couldn't get away at all. Fellow Taoist Sky Demon, how about we join forces? The Black Demon Immortal Emperor was facing an expert of the same level. Although he had the upper hand, he was unable to kill the other party in a short period of time. We didn't want them to fall out with us. It was because they were stronger than us that we had no choice but to agree. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong almost vomited blood when he heard this. Hey Mo, you're so shameless. The Sky Monster Realm Lord didn't expect that Di Tian could suppress Immortal Emperor Ku Rong by himself. His strength had risen to such an extent that the Black Demon Immortal Emperor, who had just fallen out with him, took the initiative to express goodwill. Forget it. We're not interested in the celestial supremacy's stone coffin. The sky monster realm lord didn't agree. He flew towards the Blackhorn realm lord, pushed away the two immortal emperors, and brought the Blackhorn realm lord and the heaven hatred demon emperor out. The black demon immortal emperor's expression changed. Fellow Taoist sky demon, this is a good opportunity. As long as we join forces, the heaven Luo demon emperors, men won't be a threat. We'll split the celestial supremacy's treasures equally. Lin Fei blasted out hundreds of punches, causing immortal emperor Ku Rong's blood to boil. He left and stood beside the sky monster realm lord. We're not interested in the celestial supremacy's stone coffin. You can enjoy it slowly. Immortal emperor Ku Rong couldn't do anything to Detian, so he said coldly, Detian, the rumor that you have an invincible physique is indeed true. I've learned a lot, but we'll remember what happened today. We'll get justice for you sooner or later. Lin Fei said in his heart, when the old monster in the black stone coffin appears, you won't say that. Let's go, Lin Fei said with a voice transmission. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong changed his target and attacked the Black Demon Immortal Emperor with the power of Grand Dao. This sinister villain almost put them in danger. Lin Fei and the Sky Monster Realm Lord showed that they didn't want to participate. The Black Demon Immortal Emperor's face darkened. He was tricked by them. He originally wanted to rope in the Black Demon Realm Lord and kill Immortal Emperor Ku Rong. Who would have thought that the Black Demon Immortal Emperor would reject the temptation? This was something that the Black Demon Immortal Emperor couldn't believe. With the addition of Immortal Emperor Ku Rong, the pressure on the Black Demon Immortal Emperor and the other Immortal Emperor doubled. As for the other junior brothers, they were killed in a few breaths, leaving only the two of them. Boom! As soon as they rushed to the passage, the black stone coffin opened and an evil force covered the palace. The palace that was originally underground turned into a world of white bones. Everything changed. It's in celestial supremacy. Oh no, we've been tricked. He had just beaten the Black Demon Immortal Emperor to the point of vomiting blood and was about to follow up with another attack. However, the unexpected turn of events caused Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's face to turn ugly. The white bone finger suddenly flicked towards them. Bang, bang, bang. The first to suffer was the Immortal Emperor that Immortal Emperor Ku Rong brought. He was already injured and was instantly killed by the flick. Hee. A skinny old man appeared from the black stone coffin. He wasn't tall, but his body emitted an evil aura. He stood on the black stone coffin and stared at the crowd with a sinister smile. Pretentious. One of Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's junior brothers took out a treasure and suddenly appeared above the old man in the stone coffin. He slammed his palm down and wanted to kill the old man in one move. The Immortal Emperor's palm landed on the old man in the stone coffin. The old man laughed sinisterly, and his body turned into a black mist that entered the Immortal Emperor's body. Junior brother! The other junior brother flew over and wanted to finish off his junior brother. Hee. The junior brother suddenly raised his head and shot out a few cold lights. All of them landed on his body, and his body withered, leaving only a piece of human skin. He fell from the sky. Junior brother! Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's eyes turned red. In the blink of an eye, two of his junior brothers met with misfortune. The old man appeared above the stone coffin again. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong's junior brother stood to the side with a blank expression like a puppet. An evil aura also started to emit from his body. I've been waiting for you for a long time. The old man's voice was evil. His gaze landed on Lin Fei. Young man, we're really fated. When you left that day, I really missed you. Lin Fei's entire body shivered. Old thing, I didn't expect you to be so good at running. You ran from the 3rd region to the 4th region and are still playing tricks here. Lin Fei sneered. Why? Do you want to keep me here today? Immortal Emperor Ku Rong didn't dare to move. He stared at Ditian and said, "You know that the black stone coffin isn't the celestial venerate's stone coffin. Why did you say that?" "Why should I say that? I didn't want to come in from the beginning. It's you who wanted to come in. It has nothing to do with me." Lin Fei wasn't afraid of what Immortal Emperor Ku Rong would say, but he didn't expect the black stone coffin to attack so quickly. Both Immortal Emperor Ku Rong and Immortal Emperor He Mo secretly cursed Ditian for being sinister. If Ditian left just now, they would fight here and open the black stone coffin. In the end, they would be the unlucky ones. He. None of you can escape today." The old man with the stone coffin snickered. Junior brother Ku Rong flew over and attacked Immortal Emperor Ku Rong. "Junior brother, wake up." Immortal Emperor Ku Rong didn't use his full strength against his junior brother, so he was quickly injured. The puppet Immortal Emperor suddenly said, "How is it? You don't dare to attack, right? Ha ha ha." The attack became fiercer and fiercer. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong could only use his full strength to regain the upper hand. Just when he was about to be seriously injured, the puppet Immortal Emperor suddenly opened his eyes. "Senior brother, save me." Immortal Emperor Ku Rong hesitated for a moment and slapped him away with a palm. "That guy is too scary." The Sky Monster Realm Lord gasped. An expert like Immortal Emperor Ku Rong was played in the palm of his hand and was in danger several times. The old man with the stone coffin is much stronger than before. He must have robbed many immortal emperors. It's not a good thing to let him go like this. We must attack together to have a chance of survival. Lin Fei also sensed the strength of the old man with the stone coffin. Last time, he could only use the white bone world, but this time he could transform it so that they couldn't tell the real from the fake. This was definitely the recovery of his strength. "Are we really going to attack?" the Sky Monster Realm Lord asked. "Yes," Lin Fei replied to the Black Demon Immortal Emperor. "You should have seen the situation now. If you don't want to die or become a puppet, we'll attack together." The Black Demon Immortal Emperor didn't dare to doubt Ditian now. An Immortal Emperor powerhouse didn't want to be controlled by others. If they didn't attack together now, they would be defeated one by one. But now there was still hope. "Okay, once you attack, we'll attack too," the Black Demon Immortal Emperor replied. Lin Fei relied on his invincible physical body and prepared to break the black stone coffin. He could already see that this old man with the stone coffin was just an illusory form and not his real body. There must be a real body in the stone coffin, and it couldn't come out for some reason. As long as he destroyed the other party's real body, his strength would definitely be affected. This was an opportunity. World Storm. With a thought, Lin Fei's World Storm instantly enveloped the old man with the stone coffin. "Since you're illusory, I'll kill you first." The World Storm was the most suitable. "You dare!" Once the World Storm enveloped him, the old man with the stone coffin was immediately enraged. His entire body was shredded by the storm, and even after reassembling several times, he still couldn't reassemble. "Attack!" Lin Fei rushed up and slammed his 6 arms on the stone coffin. Rumble, the entire stone coffin shook violently. The black stone coffin's door suddenly opened, and countless arms stretched out, wrapping around Lin Fei's body, wrapping him up tightly and dragging him inside. Ditian! The Sky Monster Realm Lord attacked the numbing arms, but he couldn't stop Ditian from being pulled into the stone coffin. Chapter 1410. Let's go! The black sarcophagus left through the void, and the world of white bones disappeared without a trace. The group immediately appeared at the bottom of a sinkhole, surrounded by the ruins of the palaces that emitted endless evil aura. They finally regained their freedom and escaped from this place. It was a great loss for everyone. Immortal Emperor Ku Rong brought no one except himself. Immortal Emperor He Mo had 2 people left, and the other one was seriously injured and couldn't exert much of his combat strength. The only group that didn't suffer any losses was the Sky Monster Realm Lord and his group. Di Tian was dragged into the sarcophagus, and it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Immortal Emperor Heimo was injured, and he left with his junior brothers without saying a word. Immortal Emperor Kurong stared at the sinkhole, and a cold light flashed in his eyes as he stared at the Sky Monster Realm Lord. It's all your fault for hiding the truth and causing this to happen. I will kill you all to avenge my junior brothers. The Sky Monster Realm Lord wouldn't sit still and wait for death. Although he was worried about Di Tian, he had to deal with Immortal Emperor Kurong first. A great battle broke out between the two. Immortal Emperor Kurong's strength was tyrannical, and he was already at the middle stage of great Tao power. His peerless divine abilities and secret techniques made the Sky Monster Realm Lord vomit blood continuously. Even though the Blackhorn Realm Lord and Heaven Hatred Demon Emperor were assisting him, they also vomited blood. Lin Fei entered an illusory world. It was a patch of darkness here. There was no light, and it was dead silent. One could hear a pin drop. Kid, you've finally fallen into this emperor's stone coffin. Don't think about leaving. This emperor is very satisfied with your high-grade, fleshly body. As long as I take over your body and refine it into an emperor's clone, this emperor's fierce name will once again spread throughout the universe. The illusory space was filled with evil voices. Lin Fei was entangled by the black arms that covered the sky. It was a shocking scene. Slash! 5 great sword chi shot out, and the overbearing sword will shatter the arms in the sky. Lin Fei finally regained his freedom. The 4th level of the secret technique, Greater Mastery. You're indeed extraordinary, far better than ordinary heaven-defying immortal emperors. The evil figure appeared in the space and sat on a black throne, looking down from above. Don't waste your energy. This is the 10,000 evil space. The stone coffin outside is called the 10,000 evil stone coffin. This emperor is the 10,000 evil immortal sovereign. You are destined to be refined into an avatar by this emperor. Hua hua hua, hua 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 hua. The shattered arms recovered once more, and the sky was filled with more arms. No matter how the 5 great sword chis shattered these vine-like arms, they would recover in just a moment. The cycle repeated endlessly, and the great sword chis could do nothing to them. They could only barely maintain a certain amount of space. Your immortal sovereign myriad evil, the immortal sovereign of the immortal court. You're still alive. Lin Fei was shocked. Immortal venerable myriad evil had a resounding reputation in the immortal court back then, but it was just a name of infamy. Rumor had it that the moment this fellow was born, there was a blood-red phenomenon that filled the sky. He walked the path of slaughter. Later on, he joined the immortal court, but it was said that he fell in the war. Immortal sovereign myriad evil sneered. How can an immortal sovereign die so easily? You'll never know the power of an immortal sovereign without becoming an immortal sovereign. The undying body in your eyes is so weak that it can't even withstand a single blow from us immortal sovereigns. Immortal sovereigns no longer need an undying body, but to cultivate to a higher life form. This is an existence that you all need to look up to. Could it be that the dead immortal sovereigns can be resurrected? Lin Fei realized a terrifying thing. The immortal court is summoning you all again. Immortal sovereign myriad evils' eyes flashed with a trace of surprise. Kid, you're quite smart. Unfortunately, you're wrong. The immortal court is no longer the immortal court of the past. This emperor doesn't have to risk his life for them. Let this emperor refine you first. Hua hua hua. In such a huge space, vine-like arms surged towards Lin Fei. The 5 great sword chis kept shattering the arms, but they couldn't stop immortal sovereign myriad evil's attack. The power of the great sword chis was constantly being worn down. This guy is really careful. Lin Fei still had a fragment of the ancient Tao tree. He could use it at the crucial moment to deal a fatal blow to immortal sovereign myriad evil. Unfortunately, the other party didn't take the bait. Just like that, Lin Fei endured for an entire year. The power of the 5 great sword cheese began to weaken. Lin Fei had to personally take action. He wielded the true self, world destroyer sword and shattered these arms. Your physical body is really strong. You can even withstand this, as expected of a heaven-defying immortal sovereign. Don't worry, this emperor's myriad evil space has the ability to accelerate time. If 1 year isn't enough, then 100 years or even 1,000 years. This emperor will refine you sooner or later. Immortal sovereign myriad evil used the power of myriad evil to constantly attack. Immortal sovereign myriad evil, you are a coward. Ning Chuan slashed apart a large number of vines. You don't even dare to personally take action against a junior like me? Immortal sovereign myriad evil squinted his eyes. This emperor has already suffered once. I won't fall for it a second time. You have a powerful killing move. Don't even think about this emperor taking action. Anyway, this emperor has a lot of time. Seeing your expression of despair should be very interesting. Since immortal sovereign myriad evil didn't take the bait, Lin Fei couldn't do anything. World storm. Lin Fei locked onto immortal sovereign myriad evil. The world storm descended on immortal sovereign myriad evil's head. The world storm enveloped immortal sovereign myriad evil's body. Immortal sovereign myriad evil's avatar shattered and appeared in another place. This emperor has many of these avatars. You can crush them all you want. Immortal sovereign myriad evil appeared again and said unhurriedly, if you were a 4th level world storm, this emperor might give you some leeway. Unfortunately, this is only the 3rd level. Lin Fei smiled. This avatar of yours probably requires a lot of energy to condense. Moreover, you can only send out avatars. Your main body must be heavily injured. Otherwise, you would have personally taken action to control this power of myriad evil. I wonder if I'm right. Nonsense. Immortal sovereign myriad evil's eyes flashed with a hint of unease. World storm, expand its range. The world storm that was originally limited to a region began to expand its range. 1,000,000 miles, 10 million miles, 1,000,000,000,000 miles. The world storm mercilessly crushed everything in the sarcophagus. Its range was also expanding. Stop! The world storm hadn't reached the 4th level, but its true might wasn't weak at all. It threatened everything in this space. Every time immortal sovereign myriad evil appeared, he would be crushed by the world storm. Immortal sovereign myriad evil was so anxious that he shouted repeatedly because he couldn't resist the might of the world storm. A double attack on the physical body and mind. It's here. The world storm swept all the way. 1 billion miles away, a huge skeleton appeared. It collapsed in a lake. The lake's water was black and emitted an evil aura. On the skeleton, a huge black flower grew, still emitting an evil aura. Lin Fei sensed an incomparably evil aura from this huge flower, just like immortal sovereign myriad evil's aura. The world storm swept over. At the side of the lake, it encountered a powerful restriction that blocked the world storm. Since he had found the place, Lin Fei didn't plan to give up and continued to control the world storm. Immortal sovereign myriad evil, your injuries haven't healed yet. No wonder you don't dare to come out. Ha ha ha. Chapter 1411. Rumble, rumble. Time accelerated in the world of evil. In the blink of an eye, 50 years had passed. Ever since they discovered immortal monarch myriad evil's true condition, the world storms in the sky had never stopped, constantly attacking the restriction around the lake. After years of attacks, the lake's restriction formation became weaker and weaker. Bastard, stop! Immortal sovereign myriad fiend appeared above the lake. Venerable evil didn't have it easy in these 50 years. He couldn't stop the world storm at all. This was a double attack on his mind and body. Why should I stop? Laughter came from the world storm. Immortal paragon infinite evil had calculated everything. But he didn't have the misgivings that this guy was even more terrifying than he had imagined, especially when the world storm was constantly attacking him. His main body gave up on the attack of the great sword Qi, and instead used his physical body and bare fists. In 50 years, Venerable Evil couldn't do anything to the other party and put himself in danger. Damn it, if I let him go on like this, it might not be a good thing. It might affect my main body. Venerable Evil thought. Boom! Another violent impact, and ripples appeared on the restriction formation. It's going to break. On the other side of the world of evil, Lin Fei's three-headed and six-armed form smashed the arm formed by the power of evil and smiled. It's finally going to break. Under Lin Fei's control, the world storm attacked the weakest one. The lake's restriction formation couldn't withstand a few attacks and shattered. Let me see how much strength you've recovered. The world storm swept over and enveloped the giant black flower. A sharp voice came from the black flower. How dare you! Immediately, a cauldron flew up and floated in the air, releasing absolute power. It was the power of an immortal venerable. It opened up a small space and managed to hold on. Immortal venerable treasure! Lin Fei tried to attack, but couldn't break this black cauldron. This emperor has underestimated you. You destroyed the restriction formation with the world storm. Venerable Evil's clone appeared again. Unfortunately, you're courting death. You forced this emperor to use the supreme immortal venerable treasure. Suppress. The black cauldron rammed forward, breaking through the layers of world storms and appearing above Lin Fei's head. The vast power of an immortal venerable poured down like a flood. Brat, you should be satisfied that I used a celestial prime treasure to deal with you. The surging power of an immortal venerable made Lin Fei unable to move. The power of an immortal venerable was at the 5th level. It was no longer an ordinary power. Cracks also appeared on Lin Fei's strong physical body. Blood gushed out. The tyrannical power of an immortal venerate surged into his body, destroying it wantonly. Immortal venerable myriad evil had no choice but to do this. This guy couldn't be treated like an ordinary person. It was necessary to use an immortal venerable treasure, even if he had to pay a price. It seems like the defense of my body can only withstand the strength of level 4, but not the strength of a celestial prime. Lin Fei said in his heart, unless I merge with 3,000 divine physiques, at that time I will not be afraid of this celestial prime's attack. Great Tao of Truth, bless me. Lin Fei urged the great Tao of Truth in his body. In an instant, the great Tao of Truth in his body clashed with the power of an immortal venerable. The inside of his body became a battlefield. His physical body kept exploding, turning into a bloody mess. In such a situation, only a person like Lin Fei could hold on. When the great Tao of Truth met the power of an immortal venerable, it displayed extraordinary dominance. It ignored the power of an immortal venerable and attacked. The power of an immortal venerable was a higher level power. When it was provoked by the great Tao of Truth, the two powers clashed. In this fight, the might of the great Tao of Truth grew stronger and stronger. My great Tao of Truth is actually so domineering. The power of an immortal venerable was suppressed. Out of Lin Fei's expectation, the suppression of the power of an immortal venerable decreased a lot. What made Lin Fei even more unbelievable was that the power of an immortal venerable that surged into his body was constantly being devoured by the great Tao of Truth. This, Lin Fei was speechless. That's right, didn't the great Tao of Truth also devour the Tao of others? Lin Fei recalled what happened back then. The Tao tree in his body began to grow as if it had eaten a great tonic. The power of an immortal venerable is really a great tonic. If I continue to absorb it like this, it won't be long before the great Tao of Truth in my body enters the 4th level. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. Kid, as long as you bow down and submit to this emperor can spare your life. Immortal, venerable, myriad evil heaved a sigh of relief. Bulsh asterisk T. If you have the ability, beat me until I lose my temper. Lin Fei's body was badly mutilated. Humph, stubborn. I want to see how long you can last under the attack of an immortal, venerable treasure. Immortal, venerable, myriad evil wasn't afraid that Lin Fei could escape from his palm. If he didn't need to refine Lin Fei, immortal, venerable, myriad evil would have used an immortal, venerable treasure to severely injure Lin Fei instead of using the power of an immortal, venerable to destroy Lin Fei's body. If he used the immortal, venerable treasure once, it might not be a big deal if he was at his peak. But now he had to conserve it for self-defense. As long as he could severely injure Lin Fei, immortal, venerable, myriad evil was confident that he could refine Lin Fei into his avatar. This kind of top-grade avatar would definitely become an immortal, venerable avatar in the future. An immortal, venerable avatar, immortal, venerable, myriad evil, was tempted by the thought of it. This was also the reason why he hadn't used the immortal, venerable treasure yet. There weren't many who had an immortal, venerable avatar in the entire universe. Immortal, venerable, myriad evil wanted to slowly subdue Lin Fei and see how long Lin Fei could last. What he lacked the least was time. After a long time, Lin Fei would naturally admit defeat. One kept resisting while the other kept using the immortal, venerable treasure. To Lin Fei, the power of an immortal, venerable was a great tonic. It could be said that he could take in as much as he wanted. It was fine as long as he performed well and didn't arouse any suspicion. Every day, the Tao tree grew taller and more luxuriant. The might of the great Tao of truth also began to grow stronger. Its might increased by at least 5 times. To be able to increase its might by more than 5 times at the 3rd level was unimaginable and heaven-defying. Boom! The great Tao of truth's Tao tree broke through to 80 million feet. His strength underwent another sharp change, reaching the 4th level, and his power also underwent a heaven-shaking change. Come down! Lin Fei raised his head and his body shook. The power of an immortal, venerable was shaken and regained some freedom. His 6 arms grabbed at the immortal, venerable treasure. The immortal, venerable treasure erupted with might, shattering 3 arms and causing Lin Fei to vomit blood nonstop. However, he didn't care at this moment. He retracted it into the heaven and earth furnace in his body and gathered divine fire to suppress the power of an immortal, venerable. Where's this emperor's immortal, venerable treasure? Immortal, venerable, myriad evil was stunned. The speed was too fast, and he couldn't react in time. Although the immortal, venerable treasure resisted on its own, it couldn't kill Lin Fei with a single strike. The immortal, venerable treasure was gone. Immortal, venerable, myriad evil lost his senses and control. He shouted angrily, "Be asterisk starred. Where did you put the immortal, venerable treasure?" Boom! The world storm shrouded over an immortal, venerable, myriad evil's avatar was shattered. Its might reached the 4th level. Impossible! How can your power of the great Tao increase? Immortal, venerable, myriad evil's shocked voice echoed in the space. Get out! Once the 4th level of the world storm spread, Lin Fei could actually communicate with it. With a thought, he appeared anywhere he wanted. As long as he was within the range of the world storm, Lin Fei even suspected that the other party's divine sense couldn't capture his traces. With a thought, Lin Fei seemed to become a part of the world storm. He appeared behind the giant black flower and punched it. The flower erupted with might and sent him flying. Another punch. Lin Fei was one with the world storm. He was sent flying and appeared again. Stop! Bang! 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 Lin Fei's speed became faster and faster as he attacked the black flower. Gradually, cracks began to appear. Stop! Everything can be discussed. Immortal, venerable, myriad evil was as anxious as an ant on a hot pan. Every time he appeared, he was killed. He couldn't stop it at all. It was useless to mobilize the power of 10,000 evil. All of them were blocked. Let's talk when you come out. Lin Fei's attacks continued to rise, causing the might of the black flower to continuously weaken. Next, he punched out again, and a cracking sound rang out from the black flower. Then, cracks spread all over the black flower. Crash! All the cracks were completely broken. An ugly child was lying on the ground. His skin was like dry and cracked earth, and he exuded an evil aura. How dare you destroy this emperor's sacred flower? The child immortal, venerable myriad evil, opened his eyes. Evil aura soared into the sky, and an evil dragon roared. He waved his hand and blasted out a killing technique. A horrifying ripple blasted toward Lin Fei. Lin Fei avoided the attack with a thought. He didn't stop using the killing technique. After more than 10 times, he got rid of the killing technique. It seems that your killing technique isn't good. Lin Fei laughed and avoided an attack. He appeared on Immortal Venerable Myriad Evils, and kicked him away. He reappeared in midair and stomped down. Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil was beaten to the point that he couldn't resist. However, he was in the Immortal Venerable realm and had a strong body. Lin Fei could only beat him until he vomited blood and couldn't threaten his life. An Immortal Venerable is so strong. My great Tao of Truth has improved, and my strength has increased by at least 100 times. Yet, I still can't deal with Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil. Lin Fei thought. Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil didn't have it easy either. He had finally revived and devoured immortal emperors in an attempt to restore his strength to his peak. Unfortunately, he encountered a freak who snatched away his immortal venerable treasure and drove him out of the sacred flower, causing him to be unable to fully restore his strength. Let's not fight. Once again, Lin Fei punched Immortal Monarch Infinite Evil's body and dodged the attack. Not fighting? Fine, but hand over the Immortal Venerable treasure. Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil said fiercely. However, because he was a child, he couldn't be that fierce. Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil, you don't have to think about it. Lin Fei refused. A killing technique came in front of him, and he dodged more than 10 times. You reminded me. Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil felt something was wrong. Not long after, Lin Fei drove the cauldron out. It was still emitting Immortal Venerable power and smashed toward Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil. Ha ha ha, you fell for it. Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil laughed. This Emperor's treasure, quickly return! Bang! Chapter 1412. The black cauldron collided with Venerable Myriad Evil and sent him flying. What's going on? Before Venerable Myriad Evil could react, he was sent flying. His body was badly mutilated and smashed. Lin Fei rushed up and smashed the cauldron again, hitting Venerable Myriad Evil over 10 times in a row. Venerable Myriad Evil kept vomiting blood, and shock was written all over his face. How is this possible? You can use an immortal venerable treasure. Venerable Myriad Evil took another hit from the cauldron after he said that. The power of an immortal venerable erupted and blasted on his body. Nothing is impossible in this world. Lin Fei kept using the cauldron to smash at Venerable Myriad Evil. This was an immortal venerable treasure. One hit was enough to shake the world. It could jump around within the range of the world storm. Venerable Myriad Evil's miserable days had arrived. On one side, the cauldron kept attacking, knocking him unconscious. On the other side, the elusive Lin Fei kept using killing techniques, but all of them were dodged. As time went on, Venerable Myriad Evil's expression turned ugly. Bastard. Venerable Myriad Evil was famous in the Celestial Court era. He could kill anyone he wanted. Today, he was beaten up by a junior, and the immortal venerable treasure he relied on was taken away. He was tricked. Until now, Venerable Myriad Evil didn't understand how he lost control of the immortal venerable treasure. Who are you? Who are you? Venerable Myriad Evil was an immortal Venerable. He was constantly attacked by the immortal Venerable Treasure and was badly mutilated, but he could recover quickly. However, even Venerable Myriad Evil couldn't bear this continuous recovery. The power of evil in the Myriad Evil dimension became thin. Wait until I'm done. Beating up an immortal Venerable was a rare opportunity. How could Lin Fei miss this opportunity? Now that he had the immortal Venerable Treasure, he could completely suppress Venerable Myriad Evil. Bang, bang, bang. Under the continuous attacks, Venerable Myriad Evil's body was shattered countless times. However, he was still indestructible and stubbornly persisted. If it was an ordinary peak immortal emperor, he would have died countless times. Venerable Myriad Evil was just pale. Stop! Stop right now! After his flesh was blasted apart once more, immortal sovereign Myriad Evil revived and called out to the person who came to stop. He felt extremely wronged. He was a dignified immortal sovereign, yet he had suffered such a humiliation that he would never be able to forget. Lin Fei activated the cauldron again, causing immortal Lord Myriad Evil to vomit blood. You admit defeat? Lin Fei stopped. With this series of attacks, Lin Fei had to admit that the immortal Reverend was very strong. To be able to persist for so long, it was no wonder that ordinary people could not kill an immortal Reverend. What do you want before you stop? Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil said sullenly, this Emperor's cauldron of evil was taken away by you, and I was beaten up by you for so long. We're even now. After losing the immortal Venerable's treasure, immortal Venerable Myriad Evil lost his combat strength. Not to mention, the other party was able to evade his ultimate killing technique, divine ability, and secret technique. This was one of the reasons why Venerable Infinite Evil had to lower his head. Venerable Infinite Evil was really afraid that he would be beaten to death by this fellow if the fight dragged on. Stop! Lin Fei glanced at Venerable Infinite Evil. Do you think it's possible? I've killed all kinds of experts, but I've never killed an immortal Reverend. Today, I want to experience what it feels like to kill an immortal Reverend. You dare! Venerable Infinite Evil's eyes twitched as he shouted angrily. Why wouldn't I dare? Lin Fei urged the cauldron to slam over, and he also rushed over. Venerable Infinite Evil had no choice but to resist once again. Don't force this Emperor to perish together with you. Venerable Infinite Evil's anger soared to the sky. His face was punched, and his face immediately tilted to the side. I like this. If you have the ability, then self-destruct. Lin Fei did not care at all and continued to attack Mingda. Let's see if you self-destruct. If you didn't kill me, then you died in vain. Bastard, this bastard. Venerable Infinite Evil cursed in his heart, cursing Mengda from head to toe. Immortal, Venerable Myriad Evil might have some confidence in dealing with other people with this move of mutual destruction. But this guy's physical body was ridiculously strong. If he died and the other party didn't die, and he came back to life with great difficulty, it would be really not worth it. What? You don't dare anymore? Lin Fei laughed. Then let me destroy you and see what it feels like to kill an immortal Reverend. Venerable Infinite Evil, an immortal Reverend, fell to such a state, he was really angry to the point of vomiting blood. As long as you stop, some of the things this Emperor collected in the past will be given to you. Venerable Infinite Evil's arms were broken, and he said reluctantly, as long as you agree, this Emperor will make sure you never return. Sorry, I'm not interested in this. Lin Fei disapproved. Your entire collection may not be as valuable as this immortal Reverend's treasure. His words were spot on. Venerable Infinite Evil's most precious treasures were immortal Reverend treasures. The grade of those collections was a step lower. This cunning guy, Venerable Infinite Evil cursed, caught off guard. He was hit by the cauldron again, and his body exploded into pieces. The world storm swept over and shattered the pieces. Then, what the hell do you want? After resurrecting, Venerable Infinite Evil's face was even paler. If there was medicine for regret, Venerable Infinite Evil would not have accepted him. This was simply asking for a huge trouble. Even the evil Venerable Infinite Evil couldn't do anything at this time. Lin Fei beat him to the fullest, and it was not an ordinary feeling. A dignified immortal reverend was beaten by him, and it was not an ordinary feeling. More importantly, he beat him until he had no temper and could only forcefully resist. I admire the strong the most, Lin Fei said with a smile. So, I have always had a wish in my heart, and that is to have a strong guard for me. Unfortunately, this wish has never come true. This is impossible. Venerable Infinite Evil was furious. This emperor is an immortal reverend, and it is impossible for me to be your guard. Stop dreaming. This was the same as killing him. An immortal reverend becoming a guard, and one that wasn't even an immortal reverend, would immediately become a joke. Venerable Infinite Evil even thought of what they would say, such as, "Look, that Venerable Infinite Evil, an immortal reverend from the immortal court era, actually became a guard. How embarrassing!" Then I can only experience the feeling of killing an immortal reverend. Lin Fei attacked again, beating Venerable Infinite Evil into a bloody mess, and his bones cracked. Venerable Infinite Evil, you should be proud that I made you my guard. Have you ever seen such an amazing, heaven-defying immortal emperor like me? Venerable Infinite Evil shouted angrily, "You are despicable and shameless, using evil arts to steal this sovereign's immortal, reverend treasure. Otherwise, this emperor would have beaten you until you vomited blood." Lin Fei laughed heartily. Despicable and shameless? How can I compare to fellow Taoist Wan Xie? You're famous, and I'm nothing in front of you. You are the despicable and shameless one. Venerable Infinite Evil had a look of resentment. Chapter 1413. Venerable Myriad Evil was having a hard time holding on. Perish together? Venerable Myriad Evil didn't dare. Even if he could kill the opponent, he wouldn't be able to revive if he died. The price was too high. Drag it out? Venerable Myriad Evil couldn't afford to drag it out. This fellow of unknown origins possessed heaven-defying strength and secret arts. He was able to refine an immortal reverend artifact, just like that, and his world tempest had also reached the 4th level, allowing him to evade the attacks of secret arts. If this went on, he would definitely be killed. Being killed by a junior would be a huge loss of face. Venerable Myriad Evil wouldn't be able to rest in peace. This result wasn't something Venerable Myriad Evil could accept. This guy is so arrogant. Venerable Myriad Evil said, "I don't know where this kid came from to cultivate such a physique. This emperor will temporarily compromise. When my strength recovers, I will definitely beat this kid up and let him die a horrible death. Better to live than to die." Venerable Myriad Evil had this thought. "Are you serious?" Venerable Myriad Evil shot out a cold light. "We are both in the same realm. Do you think I would lie to you after making a heavenly oath?" Lin Fei smiled. "As long as you defeat me, I will return your freedom. After making a heavenly oath, I don't have to worry about this kid cheating." Venerable Myriad Evil thought, "As long as I have 100 years to fuse with the undying body again, I'll see what he can do then." Lin Fei was laughing in his heart, an immortal venerable's guard. Just thinking about it makes me excited. In the world of destruction, having an immortal venerable's guard is much safer. I don't have to worry about the 5 demons and 6 emperors anymore. As for giving Venerable Myriad Evil his freedom, Lin Fei could only chuckle. Exalted Myriad Evil lowered his head helplessly and swore an oath to the heavenly Tao to become Lin Fei's guard. He would fulfill his duties as a guard. Once the heavenly oath was made, a heavenly aura came from the space. Lin Fei also made a heavenly oath, promising that the day he defeats Venerable Myriad Evil, he would regain his freedom and return his immortal venerable's treasure. A mark flashed in the space. Their heavenly oath was officially established. Tao friend Myriad Evil, you don't have to pull a long face. Lin Fei couldn't help but smile when he saw immortal sovereign Myriad Evil, who looked like a resentful wife. Being a guard isn't hard at all. Immortal sovereign Myriad Evil glared at him. Try me if you dare. Lin Fei said, That's better than you being destroyed, right? Exalted immortal Lord Myriad Evil was speechless. Dead, everything was gone. There was still hope as long as he was alive. Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil's current goal was to defeat Lin Fei, beat him until he vomited blood, and abuse him 1,000,000 times. Only then would he be able to vent his anger. Otherwise, this would be a lifetime of shame. We're there now. Separated by the space of evil, Lin Fei had no idea where he was. He was eager to find out. We are now in the 5th region. Exalted Infinite Evil was absent-minded. The Infinite Evil sarcophagus has the ability to travel back and forth. It's already a semi-finished, exalted immortal treasure. It can travel back and forth in this land of extermination. A semi-finished, immortal, venerable treasure. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. It could travel back and forth in the void. It was more than 100 times stronger than his black wind. What do you want? Immortal sovereign Myriad Evil looked at him with hostility. Nothing much. I just want to borrow your Infinite Evil sarcophagus. Lin Fei was very thick-skinned. Since you're my guard, isn't your things mine? That's settled. You're so shameless. Immortal sovereign Myriad Evil's expression changed. He felt that he had lost control of the semi-finished Infinite Evil sarcophagus. He glared at him. You're a shameless bastard. Lin Fei chuckled. Thank you for the compliment. Compared to you, an immortal sovereign from the immortal court era, I feel that I still need to learn. Keep up the good work. Immortal sovereign Myriad Evil wished he could slap himself. What a cheap mouth. Why did I say it just now? Lin Fei controlled the Infinite Evil sarcophagus. He felt that the Infinite Evil sarcophagus was traveling back and forth. Its speed reached an astonishing 83 times the limit of the heavenly Tao. The Infinite Evil sarcophagus was very hard and could ignore the void astral wind attacks of the land of extermination. Lin Fei didn't expect that he would come to the 5th region so quickly. The 5th region was many times more dangerous than the 4th region. Lin Fei could only send a message to the Sky Demonic Realm Lord and the others, telling them that he was fine and that they didn't need to worry about him. He couldn't move around with them for the time being. Do you know what good stuff is in the 5th region? Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil was obviously still resentful and didn't answer Lin Fei's question. Although he wanted to know what good stuff was in this region, he couldn't do anything if Lin Fei didn't want to tell him. A dignified immortal sovereign had fallen to become a guard. He needed time to accept it. He could be forgiven for the time being. Controlling the Infinite Evil sarcophagus, Lin Fei traveled back and forth in the 5th region. He wasn't in a hurry to come out. This region was filled with a dangerous aura. It was dozens of times more dangerous than the previous regions. That's a demonic emperor at the 4th level of the Great Tao. Not long after traveling, Lin Fei found a demonic emperor. This demonic emperor was already dead. His chest was punched through, and his eyes were wide open. He died with a grievance. He was killed by an expert. This should be the attack of an immortal sovereign. Lin Fei thought to himself, other than immortal sovereigns, there shouldn't be any other experts in this apocalypse land that could easily do this. The 5th region was huge. The Infinite Evil sarcophagus had 83 times the speed of the heavenly Tao. What Lin Fei saw was just the tip of the iceberg. He didn't fully understand the entire region. Human figures? He didn't see a single one. He did see some corpses, but they were all killed in an instant. Their treasures were also taken away. Boom! On this day, the Infinite Evil sarcophagus traveled back and forth in the 5th region. Suddenly, an earth-shattering sound came from ahead. A terrifying immortal sovereign aura crushed the void for billions of miles. The infinite evil sarcophagus was shaken by the impact. There are immortal sovereigns fighting. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. So far, he had only seen one immortal sovereign in this apocalypse land. It was immortal sovereign myriad evil. Moreover, he was an extremely evil fellow. Lin Fei quickly controlled the infinite evil sarcophagus. Let's go up and take a look. Immortal sovereign myriad evil seemed to be more anxious than anyone else. Lin Fei carefully controlled the infinite evil sarcophagus and stopped tens of millions of miles away. Then he entered the void. In the center of a ruined region, two immortal sovereigns were fighting. Their immortal sovereign's power constantly impacted the surroundings. The remnant immortal sovereign's power interweaved and formed a large net. I didn't expect our luck to be so good. Immortal sovereign myriad evil was willing to speak. He stared at the two people fighting. Isn't it just two immortal sovereigns fighting? Lin Fei was shocked. The impact of the immortal sovereign's battle was much stronger than immortal sovereign myriad evils. He would probably be heavily injured if he went up. Lin Fei didn't see any luck. That's because you don't understand. Immortal sovereign myriad evil said proudly. A cauldron flew out and smashed on immortal sovereign myriad evil. I haven't cleaned you up for a few days. Are your bones itching? If you dare to keep me in suspense again, I'll beat you until your teeth fall out. The cauldron flew up again and smashed more than 10 times. If you have the ability, let's fight one-on-one. Immortal sovereign myriad evil was furious. He used his divine ability and secret technique. However, he was quickly beaten down by the cauldron and had no choice but to beg for mercy. Immortal sovereign myriad evil said, "Do you see the blue-clothed immortal sovereign on the left?" Lin Fei nodded to show that he saw him. "What's the big deal?" "It's a big deal." Immortal sovereign myriad evil licked the corner of his mouth. That blue-clothed immortal sovereign was one of the immortal sovereigns of the immortal court. His name was 8 Directions Immortal Sovereign. Unfortunately, he died. What you see now is not his true body, but an illusion of the Tao tree. Lin Fei couldn't help but feel shocked. After dying for so long, an illusion of 8 Directions Immortal Sovereign can fight against an immortal sovereign? Lin Fei sucked in a breath of cold air. This immortal sovereign was too powerful. Immortal sovereign myriad evil sneered. Immortal sovereigns are very powerful to begin with. The 5th region was one of the main battlefields back then. The fallen immortal sovereigns contained resentment. Once someone wanted to take their Tao tree, they would immediately materialize and engage in a great battle. Those weaker immortal sovereigns would be instantly killed by such immortal sovereigns. So, this immortal sovereign Tao tree fragment is very complete? Lin Fei pondered. This 8 Directions Immortal Sovereign's Tao tree is at most left with about 20%. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil said, "Even if it's only about 20%, its strength isn't something you can resist. If that guy doesn't make a move, I'm afraid his efforts will be in vain." This was Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil's way of attacking Lin Fei. 20%. Unbelievable. His great Tao power had advanced to the 4th level. He wanted to advance to the 5th level, but Lin Fei already felt the bottleneck. It would probably be very difficult to break through this level. This kind of immortal sovereign level Tao tree fragment contained powerful immortal sovereign power. Lin Fei believed that it could improve a lot. If 20% had such combat strength, then wouldn't it be heaven-defying if it contained 70 to 80%? While the two were talking, the battle outside came to an end. The 8 Directions Immortal Sovereigns used all their means, and the power of immortal sovereigns swept out. The opponent's immortal sovereign was a bald man. A mere illusionary immortal sovereign. You are not this sovereign's match at all. This sovereign will personally end you. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, dust to dust. The bald immortal sovereign shouted and pointed out with a finger. This finger was like a finger from beyond the heavens, pointing at the 8 directions immortal sovereign's glabella. The 8 directions immortal sovereign wasn't his true body, so he exploded with a single finger and shattered into pieces. The 8 directions immortal sovereign was shattered. The bald immortal sovereign also vomited blood. This ultimate attack consumed a large amount of immortal sovereign power. Phew! I finally killed this immortal sovereign. The bald immortal sovereign exhaled and slapped the ground with his hand. The ground cracked and a tattered Tao tree fragment flew out, exuding the might of an immortal sovereign. I finally gained something today. 20% of the Tao tree fragment can nurture a low-level immortal sovereign. As long as one refined an immortal sovereign Tao tree fragment, they could inherit everything and become an immortal sovereign. This kind of immortal sovereign had almost no growth potential. He was an immortal sovereign powerhouse, after all. To a sect, this was a very precious thing. Moreover, the immortal sovereign Tao tree fragment could only be chanced upon. If one was unlucky and encountered a powerful immortal sovereign's incarnation, they would be instantly killed. Chapter 14:14. A terrifying world storm arrived. The bald immortal venerable's body was covered in scars. Immortal venerables were terrifyingly strong. Even the 4th level of the world storm only left scars on his body and didn't truly injure him. Any immortal venerable had a strong and flawless spirit. They wouldn't be threatened by anything. The world storm would at most leave scars on their bodies. Who is it? Come out. The bald immortal venerable shouted angrily. His voice shattered the world storm. Once an immortal venerable was angered, countless corpses would fall. Those who dared to snatch food from the tiger's mouth were simply courting death. Junior, you sure are arrogant. You are just a low-stage immortal venerable. Aren't you afraid that this venerable will kill you? The black stone coffin appeared in the world storm. An evil aura filled the air. Its aura wasn't any weaker than the bald immortal venerable. The bald immortal venerable's expression changed slightly. He felt threatened by the other party. The other party wasn't an incarnation of the Tao tree, but a true immortal venerable. The black stone coffin was clearly a semi-finished immortal venerable treasure. He definitely had an immortal venerable treasure. The bald immortal venerable also had an immortal venerable treasure. However, it was far weaker than the other party. He didn't even know that the other party had appeared. This venerable is Tian Yi immortal venerable. Who are you? The skinny immortal venerable myriad evil sneered. This venerable is myriad evil immortal venerable. As for the rest, you don't have the right to know. Tian Yi immortal venerable myriad evil's expression changed. Impossible. Didn't you die in that war? How could you revive? Clearly, Tian Yi immortal venerable knew this immortal venerable myriad evil. You actually know this venerable's origin. Myriad evil immortal venerable's eyes were cold. Tian Yi immortal venerable was indeed shocked. Senior, I am from the immortal Lyceum. There is information about the immortal venerables in the immortal Lyceum. Junior has read it before. Senior is one of them. So you are from the immortal Lyceum. Myriad evil immortal venerable said. Since you are from the same place, leave behind the Tao tree fragment and scram. Otherwise, this venerable will kill you. Tian Yi immortal venerable mentioned his background to deter the other party. The celestial monarch who died back then had revived. Even if he was not as strong as before, he was still not someone he could deal with. Tian Yi celestial monarch didn't want to fight as he had no chance of winning. Senior, I worked hard to obtain the Tao tree fragment. It is not for my personal use, but for the immortal court. Tian Yi explained. Scram! The all-evil sarcophagus burst forth with the power of an immortal venerable. Senior, Tian Yi immortal paragon forcefully resisted the all-evil sarcophagus. His blood and chi were in turmoil due to the immortal paragon's treasure. His expression changed drastically. Senior, you are from the immortal court. Could it be that you want to rebel against the immortal court? A puny junior like you dares to criticize this Exalt. Exalt Myriad Evil coldly snorted. The sarcophagus of Myriad Evil smashed forward again and again, shaking heaven and earth and shattering the void. Immortal Paragon Tianai suppressed his surging blood energy. Immortal Paragon Myriad Evil, I will report this matter to the Immortal Court. In the future, when the Immortal Court's experts arrive, don't blame this junior for being rude. Boom, boom, boom. Tian Yi Immortal Venerable didn't dare to stay any longer. He continuously jumped through the void and left this area. Lin Fei, that bastard. Exalt Myriad Evil cursed. Now that he has offended the Immortal Court, those people from the Immortal Court will definitely come looking for trouble. Now that my strength has not recovered, it's all Lin Fei's fault. After Tian Yi Immortal Paragon left, Lin Fei appeared next to the Dao tree fragment. He opened his mouth and swallowed the fragment, making Exalt Myriad Evil envious. Myriad Evil, you are quite famous. Even the Immortal Court's Immortal Paragon experts don't dare to attack you. Lin Fei put away the Dao tree fragment and was in a good mood. Exalt Myriad Evil said proudly, that goes without saying. Back in the Immortal Court, this Exalt was also an overlord. A puny character like you, I can stab you to death 100 times with a finger. Lin Fei said indifferently, that was back then. Now, even if you stab me 100 times, you won't be able to stab me to death. Exalt Myriad Evil was about to go crazy from the blow. At this moment, he had to lower his head under the eaves. There should be a lot of these Dao tree fragments in the 5th region, right? Lin Fei asked, you must know a lot of places. Why don't you tell me a few, and we can go and sweep them? No. Exalt Myriad Evil's tone was firm. Without saying a word, Lin Fei took out the 10,000 evil sarcophagus and the cauldron and attacked Exalt Myriad Evil. One was a semi-finished Immortal Paragon treasure, and the other was a complete one. With 2-pronged attacks, Exalt Myriad Evil couldn't resist. I'll take it, all right? But I want half of the benefits. Exalt Myriad Evil bargained. Lin Fei attacked again, and in the end he only gave 1/3 of the benefits. I've been tricked. After Exalt Myriad Evil left, Tian Yi Immortal Paragon returned with a ferocious look. The Dao tree fragment was long gone. The information says that Exalt Myriad Evil is a cruel person. He will attack anyone he sees and will never dilly-dally. Back in the Immortal Court, he was a famous homicidal maniac. Just now, he dilly-dallied with me and put on airs. He must have not recovered his strength. No one who could become an Immortal Paragon was simple. Tian Yi Immortal Paragon realized that he had been tricked. Exalt Myriad Evil no longer had the strength he had in the past. Otherwise, he would have been killed long ago instead of standing here. Exalt Myriad Evil's strength should be around the low-level Immortal Paragon, about the same as me. At most, he is slightly stronger than me. Tian Yi Immortal Paragon thought to himself, I can't deal with him alone, but I can find someone to divide the spoils. This evil person is worth more than 10 times more than a 20% Dao tree fragment. Tian Yi Immortal Paragon turned and left. He was preparing to hunt down a powerhouse like Exalt Myriad Evil from the Immortal Court era. In a valley under a mountain range, the 10,000 evil sarcophagus appeared, and Exalt Myriad Evil flew out. There is an Immortal Paragon below, and his strength is not weaker than the 8 directions Immortal Paragons. In fact, he is much stronger. Attack! The cauldron smashed down, and the power of an Immortal Paragon erupted. Under the valley, the power of an Immortal Paragon erupted. An Immortal Paragon avatar rushed out holding a black spear. The power of the great Dao surged, and the spear stabbed at Lin Fei. Bang! The Immortal Paragon attacked, and the spear stabbed Lin Fei's chest, sending him flying. Kacha! Kacha! In midair, the power of an Immortal Paragon erupted, trying to tear apart Lin Fei's body. Even his bones cracked. What a powerful immortal paragon! The true self, great Tao in his body, devoured the power of an immortal paragon. In the blink of an eye, it was devoured clean. With a thought, his body recovered. This was also one of Lin Fei's cultivation methods. It was the stupidest method. This bastard, how can his body be so strong? Exalt Myriad Evil wished that Lin Fei was stabbed to death by an immortal paragon spear. Then he could relax and regain his freedom, no longer having to be a guard. When Lin Fei appeared full of energy, Exalt Myriad Evil's eyes widened. He was still fine. What a joke! What are you standing there for? Hurry up and suppress him. Chapter 14:15. Fifth Layer Region. At this moment, there were 3 people who had transformed into streaks of light. A ripple suddenly appeared in front of them, spreading out like a wave, and the 3 of them happened to be in the attack range. Break! One of them pointed forward with her jade-like hand, and her hand grew to millions of miles long, striking the ripple. The ripple shattered layer by layer, no longer posing a threat. Fellow Taoist Sufeng, your strength has improved greatly again. Truly enviable. Immortal, venerable Tianai spoke to a woman in red with unconcealable admiration in his eyes. I've made some gains recently and improved a little. It's nothing much. Senior Immortal Sufeng was a female senior immortal. She looked very elegant and noble, and her strength was much stronger than Senior Immortal Tianyi. I believe that you will also have a breakthrough soon. Next to Immortal Supremacy Tianyi was a black-robed Immortal Supremacy. His eyes were one black and one white, like a reincarnation cycle, hence his name Reincarnation Immortal Supremacy. We accept fellow Taoist Sufeng's words. The 2 of them said in unison, the resurrection of Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil, the world extermination ground, is indeed extraordinary. Venerable Sufeng said with bright eyes and white teeth, I need fellow Taoist Samsara's help to find Venerable Myriad Evil. In the Immortal Lyceum, your Immortal Venerable secret technique is a first-class existence. Immortal Exalt Myriad Evil, who was very famous in the Immortal Court back then. I didn't expect him to revive after so long. With the 3 of us, it won't be difficult to suppress Immortal Exalt Myriad Evil. Immortal Exalt Reincarnation said, Now, I will calculate the location of Immortal Exalt Myriad Evil. Reincarnation Immortal Venerable grabbed at Heaven Fate Immortal Venerable's body, and an evil aura was pulled out. This contains Myriad Evil Immortal Venerable's evil power. It is enough to locate Myriad Evil Immortal Venerable. As soon as he finished speaking, Reincarnation Immortal Venerate sat down and swallowed the 10,000 evil power. Then he started to deduce 10,000 evil Immortal Venerates' whereabouts. In the Immortal Court, the Reincarnation Immortal Venerable was one of those who had some accomplishments in this divination secret technique. After the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, Reincarnation Immortal Supremacy opened his eyes, one black and one white. I didn't let you down. I've finally deduced Myriad Evil Immortal Supremacy's location. He is 10 billion li away from us. Immortal Paragon Tianai said in admiration. Tao Friend Samsara's divination is getting more and more exquisite. Whoever offended Tao Friend Samsara will probably have nightmares for the rest of their lives. Reincarnation Immortal Paragon said proudly, just SOO. Compared to those almighty beings, I am far inferior. At the same time, in another place, Lin Fei was attacking an Immortal Venerable. When Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil attacked, Lin Fei assisted from the side, taking the opportunity to absorb the Immortal Venerable's power. Now, the Immortal Venerable's power was like a great tonic. The great Tao of true self in his body was constantly improving. Lin Fei's strength was also increasing. Immortal Lord 10,000 Evil was having a hard time. This Immortal Lord wasn't weak, and he still had to fight head-on. For him, he really couldn't take it. Who told him to be a guard and have no choice but to put in so much effort? What the hell is this bastard doing? Up until now, Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil still hadn't figured out Lin Fei's actions. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil could only deal with the incarnation of the Tao tree fragment, like a labor. Suddenly, Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil's expression changed as he sent Immortal Sovereign flying. Not good. Someone just divined the position of this sovereign. It must be the experts of the Immortal Court. Lin Fei did not know much about the Immortal Court. How did you know someone was calculating your position? This sovereign was from the Immortal Court in the past. The Immortal Court has a secret technique related to divination that can calculate anyone's position. Only the Immortal Court has such a secret technique. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil said, "This sovereign is an immortal sovereign. They can't hide it from this sovereign. If there is no accident, they should be on their way." Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil's strength had yet to recover, and his immortal sovereign treasure couldn't unleash its full power. If the people of the Immortal Court were to come, there would definitely be several immortal sovereigns. For a moment he had a headache. Lin Fei had a look of disdain. *CK, to think that you are an immortal sovereign and an expert of the Immortal Court era. You still have the nerve to say that your position was divined. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil wanted to say, if it wasn't for you, how could this sovereign's position be divined? Immediately suppress this incarnation. Lin Fei also realized that the Immortal Court wasn't simple. Revenge came so quickly. The two of them attacked with all their strength. The incarnation, which was originally an arrow at the end of its flight, was destroyed by the two of them. Lin Fei reached out and grabbed, and the immortal sovereign Tao tree fragment landed in his hand. "Let's go." The 10,000 evil stone coffin flew out. The two of them entered and tore through space. In less than 5 minutes, Immortal Sovereignty and the others caught up, but they were too late. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil had already left. We still underestimated this Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil. He actually sensed that someone was divining his position in advance. Immortal Sovereign Reincarnation smiled. However, hunting an immortal sovereign of the Immortal Court era. Just thinking about it makes me excited. The few of them flew again and chased after it. The people of the Immortal Court are really troublesome. The 10,000 evil stone coffin traveled through space and jumped countless times. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil's expression was still ugly. Behind it, there was an aura firmly locked onto the 10,000 evil stone coffin. This was an Immortal Sovereign secret technique. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil couldn't get rid of it and couldn't sever the connection. Bang! At this moment, a jade finger tore through space, and its outline could be clearly seen. The finger touched the 10,000 evil stone coffin. The 10,000 evil stone coffin shook, and the 10,000 evil power inside shattered. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil and Lin Fei felt their blood boil. As expected, it's someone from the Immortal Court. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil's expression tightened. This guy had died once and became timid. Otherwise, he wouldn't have set a trap to deal with those peak immortal emperors. The jade finger pointed again. The 10,000 evil stone coffin shook again and again. It was touched again and shook again. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil, you can't escape. A woman's voice came from within the 10,000 evil space. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil's expression became even uglier. He was a dignified overlord in the past, but now he was being bullied by a woman. How could he accept this? Lin Fei wasn't as irascible as Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil. From the beginning until now, Lin Fei hadn't exposed himself. In other words, this was his biggest advantage. How many immortal sovereigns are outside? 3. One is Immortal Sovereignty and the other one is a man and a woman. The woman is the one who attacked just now. If I'm not wrong, this woman is the strongest. The remaining man should be the one who deduced my whereabouts. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil said, "When they join forces, their strength will increase greatly and they can crush us." 3 immortal sovereigns from the immortal court appeared at once. Lin Fei really felt a certain amount of pressure. The immortal court's foundation was also beyond imagination. There were only 36 immortal sovereigns in the myriad worlds. It could be imagined that the number of immortal sovereigns in the immortal court was not small. So, as long as we get rid of that female immortal sovereign, the other 2 won't be a problem? Lin Fei pondered and said, "You deal with one immortal sovereign, and I deal with the other. It shouldn't be a problem, right? You have to lend me the treasure of an immortal sovereign." Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil nodded. Being chased by 3 immortal sovereigns made him feel a lot of pressure. "Okay, leave this woman to me." Lin Fei immediately made a decision. "Later, you must stall the 2 of them and buy time for me. Otherwise, if I die, you won't have a good ending." Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil couldn't figure out how this bastard Lin Fei could deal with that woman. To be able to casually shake the 1,000 evil sarcophagus, that woman's strength was not weak. At least, she was much stronger than the current him. He wasn't confident that he would be defeated in a fight. The 3 people chasing from behind. Immortal Sovereign Su Feng pointed with her lily-white hand and shook the 1,000 evil sarcophagus, causing the sarcophagus to slow down and the distance between the 2 sides kept shrinking. "Good stuff," Immortal Sovereign Tianai said with a smile, a semi-finished immortal sovereign treasure with 83 times the speed of the heavenly Tao. Fortunately, Tao Friend Reincarnation predicted it, otherwise it would have escaped. Just this treasure alone was worth a lot of money. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil should have other good things on him. Immortal Sovereign Reincarnation also said with a smile, an immortal sovereign from the immortal court era. Even if he resurrected, he would still have a lot of treasures on him. Immortal Sovereign Su Feng continued to attack, closing the distance. Suddenly, the 1,000 evil sarcophagus jumped out of the void and entered a ruined palace in the 5th region. Chase! They quickly chased after it. In the ruined palace, they saw the skinny immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil standing on the 1,000 evil sarcophagus. "Juniors of the immortal court, you have guts. You actually dare to chase after this exalt." Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil shouted, "Do you believe that this exalt can kill 3 of you with a flick of my finger?" Immortal Sovereign Tianai laughed. "Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil, if you were at your peak, it would be easy for you to kill the 3 of us. Can you do it now?" Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil stared at Immortal Sovereign Tianai and coldly smiled. "You are quite smart. However, if this exalt really wants to kill someone, you will be the first to die." His gaze turned and fell on Immortal Sovereign Reincarnation. "This exalt smells a familiar aura on you. You should have inherited a fragment of Divine Diviner. The one who calculated this exalt should be you." Immortal Sovereign Reincarnation was not surprised at all. "That's right. The one who calculated you is me. Senior Myriad Evil is indeed worthy of being an overlord of the immortal court back then. You even know about Divine Diviner." Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil chuckled. Divine Diviner was the #1 divination expert in the immortal court back in the day. He divined everyone under the immortal sovereign realm. Even sovereigns had to be polite to him. It's a pity that you only obtained a small part of it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have sensed your divination. Many thanks for Senior Myriad Evil's guidance." Immortal Sovereign Reincarnation said, "Senior Myriad Evil, with such a grand formation, could it be that you want to fight to the death with us?" "I don't need to fight to the death to kill 3 juniors like you." Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil moved. The cauldron smashed towards the 3 of them with vast immortal sovereign power. "Attack!" Immortal Sovereign Tianai immediately felt the killing intent lock onto him. Boom! The world storm of the 4th level descended. The 3 immortal sovereigns were not affected much. They were instantly hit by the storm, leaving behind wounds on their bodies. They didn't care about it. Did this immortal sovereign myriad evil go senile? Using this kind of attack against them would only tickle them. It wouldn't pose any threat. Chapter 1416. Venerable Su Feng's reminder was ignored by both Venerable Tianyi and Venerable Reincarnation. This was no longer the immortal court era, and Venerable Myriad Evil was no longer at his peak. They were full of confidence in hunting such an expert. As the two of them attacked, unparalleled divine abilities, immortal venerable secret techniques, and unparalleled world turned this area into ruins. The power of the divine abilities even affected the depths of the void. If it wasn't for this place being destroyed, an immortal venerable's attack could break the void and cause a world to collapse. Venerable Myriad Evil, you are old. It's time for you to die. Venerable Tianyi took advantage of the fact that Venerable Myriad Evil had used up his moves and attacked with an immortal venerable secret technique, causing Venerable Myriad Evil to vomit blood. He laughed proudly. This era belongs to us. You are just a has-been immortal venerable. If you die, then so be it. Why do you need to revive? You are just suffering. Why don't you give up everything you have and become a junior like us? Reincarnation Immortal Venerable activated his reincarnation world, continuously smashing over. The two low-stage Immortal Venerables joined forces and suppressed Venerable Myriad Evil. Venerable Su Feng didn't attack. As a female Immortal Venerable, she scanned the area with her divine sense but didn't find anything. She felt a trace of uneasiness in her heart as if someone was targeting her. Venerable Tianyi and Venerable Reincarnation suppressed Venerable Myriad Evil, so Venerable Su Feng didn't attack. Strange, why do I feel uneasiness? Could it be that an Immortal Venerable is targeting me? Venerable Su Feng thought, could it be an Immortal Venerable from all the worlds? Why isn't this trace of uneasiness so strong? Logically speaking, an Immortal Venerable's attack should be very strong. At the Immortal Venerable realm, one could sense some danger. Venerable Su Feng didn't understand what this trace of uneasiness meant. Venerable Myriad Evil activated his cauldron and unleashed the power of an Immortal Venerable treasure, but he still couldn't resist the joint attack of two Immortal Venerables. He kept getting hit and coughed blood. His body almost exploded. He was an Immortal Venerable to be able to last until now. That bastard Lin Fei, is he going to attack or not? Venerable Myriad Evil slapped Venerable Heavenly and activated his cauldron. Then he shouted, Venerable Tianyi, a junior like you will be the first to be killed. Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil's strength erupted once more. Immortal Venerable Tian Yi himself felt fear in his heart. The attack of an Immortal Venerable treasure in addition to the absolute killing technique made him feel a great threat. The other party locked onto him. Fellow Taoist Su Feng, quickly help. Tianyi Immortal Venerable's attack was neutralized by Myriad Evil Immortal Venerable. Myriad Evil Immortal Venerable kept coughing out blood, but he did not stop attacking. He looked like he was going all out. Tianyi Immortal Venerable panicked. Anyone would be afraid of any Immortal Venerable's reckless attack. Venerable Su Feng couldn't find out where the uneasiness came from, but he also couldn't watch Venerable Tianyi being heavily injured by Venerable Myriad Evil, so he shouted, Absolute Heaven! A slender, jade-like hand grabbed at the infinite evil Immortal Sovereign. Celestial music surrounded the palace, turning it into a huge jade-like world filled with might. Immortal Lord Myriad Evil tried his best to resist, but he still vomited blood. Venerable Su Feng was the strongest among them. His first move was a peerless attack, causing Venerable Myriad Evil to vomit blood on the spot. Venerable Tianyi and Venerable Samsara took this opportunity to launch a fierce attack, putting Venerable Myriad Evil on the verge of death. Venerable Su Feng, excuse me. Suddenly, a voice rang in Venerable Su Feng's ears. Her expression remained unchanged as she flicked her jade-like finger, smashing countless layers of the void. Lin Fei appeared and turned into a black mist, wrapping around Venerable Su Feng's body tightly, barely revealing a frosty face. Shameless thief! Boom, boom, boom. Venerable Su Feng was furious. This shameless scoundrel used this kind of move with great power. He wanted to crush this shameless scoundrel to pieces. Come in. Huff! In the next second, Venerable Su Feng's attack failed to shatter the black mist. Instead, she was wrapped by a force and instantly fell into a world of flames. A flame, giant, slammed its palm. Venerable Su Feng regained her freedom. Her jade-like hand fluttered like fallen leaves, shattering the flame giant and returning to flames. Shameless one, get out here! Beauty, just stay here quietly. Big Brother will come to see you again when I have time. As soon as her voice fell, Venerable Su Feng's figure flashed. Her jade-like hand grabbed the flame and burst it, but no one appeared. The flames that filled the sky rushed over. Venerable Su Feng's face changed again and again. The surrounding space was constantly compressed and finally confined to a narrow place. Cough, cough, cough. Lin Fei coughed up blood. His face was pale, his body was trembling, and he could hardly stand still. I was almost finished. This Venerable Su Feng is really powerful. She almost shattered my body. Lin Fei wiped his cold sweat. Venerable Myriad Evil was also an immortal venerable. He could only beat him until he vomited blood, but Venerable Su Feng was different. Her strength was several times stronger. With just a casual attack, she seriously injured Lin Fei. Fortunately, I have Worldly Furnace to trap her inside. If she really attacked, I would have failed miserably today. Lin Fei took out a large number of immortal pills to heal his injuries. Venerable Su Feng has fallen into this venerable's hands. Do you two still want to continue fighting? Venerable Myriad Evil repeatedly attacked, shaking them away. He held the cauldron and laughed. Only then did Venerable Tianyi and Venerable Reincarnation come back to their senses. They found that they had lost Venerable Su Feng's trace. They couldn't even sense her aura. It was as if she had disappeared from this world. Both of their expressions changed greatly. Something big has happened. Venerable Myriad Evil quickly hand over Venerable Su Feng. Venerable Tianyi was furious and attacked Venerable Myriad Evil fiercely, as if he was provoked by something. World Reincarnation. Reincarnation Immortal Venerable vomited blood as he executed his killer move. A black and white world descended. Cracking sounds could be heard as the world was destroyed. Myriad Evil Immortal Venerable did not expect that Immortal Venerable Su Feng would cause such a huge change. This bastard Lin Fei, he really came up with a rotten idea. This Venerable Su Feng must have a great background. Venerable Myriad Evil thought. He was lost in thought, and one of his arms was shattered. Soul Extinguishing Needle. Venerable Myriad Evil waved his hand and shot out a black mist. Venerable Reincarnation used World Reincarnation to suppress it. The black mist ignored the attack and penetrated World Reincarnation's World Reincarnation. Hua, hua, hua. Venerable Reincarnation's body was corroded and turned into a skeleton. After reviving, he was on the verge of death. Venerable Myriad Evil took the opportunity to control the Myriad Evil sarcophagus and jumped several times, disappearing in front of the two venerables. Chase! The two chased after him. Without Venerable Su Feng, they lost track of her in a short while. Tao Friend Reincarnation. Quickly use a secret technique to deduce Venerable Myriad Evil's position. Following this deduction, Reincarnation Immortal Venerable spat out a mouthful of blood. His body exploded on the spot, splitting into pieces. He reconstructed his body, his injuries severe. I've been poisoned. With a single deduction, my body will be destroyed. I have to remove the soul-shattering needles from my body. Chapter 1417. Venerable Tianyi and Venerable Reincarnation watched helplessly as Venerable Myriad Evil disappeared without a trace. They could chase after Venerable Myriad Evil because of Venerable Su Feng and Venerable Reincarnation's assistance, which allowed them to easily find Venerable Myriad Evil's location. Among the three, Venerable Su Feng seemed to be the leader. Now that Venerable Su Feng disappeared without a trace, they couldn't even discover her. This was the most unacceptable thing for them. Without Venerable Su Feng, they naturally couldn't catch up to Venerable Myriad Evil. More importantly, Venerable Reincarnation was seriously injured and couldn't divine Venerable Myriad Evil's location. The first divination was easy, but the second divination was guarded against. The divination's location was greatly reduced and could only be limited to a certain direction. What do we do now? Venerable Tian Yi was full of confidence, but the result was out of their expectations. The strongest Venerable Su Feng was taken away. This was a great humiliation. Losing face was fine, but the important thing was that Venerable Su Feng wasn't an ordinary immortal venerable. This was why they were so anxious when they heard that Venerable Su Feng was captured. What else can we do? Venerable Reincarnation's eyes flashed with fear. We can only report the situation truthfully. Venerable Tian Ye's eyes also flashed with panic. If he really reported it, he would have a huge responsibility. If he hadn't come to find Venerable Reincarnation and Venerable Su Feng, this wouldn't have happened and Venerable Su Feng wouldn't have been captured. If something happened to Venerable Su Feng, Venerable Tian, you didn't dare to think about it. This was all Venerable Myriad Evil's fault. Let's go. Although they were helpless, they could only go back to report the situation. They were immortal court experts, and each of them had a way to contact the higher-ups. Venerable Su Feng's disappearance could only be solved by the higher-ups. The only thing they hoped for now was that nothing happened to Venerable Su Feng. Otherwise, the two of them would be in big trouble. They might not even be able to protect themselves. Low-level immortal venerables weren't important figures in the immortal court. They only had a little right to speak. You bastard, this venerable almost died. In Myriad Evil space, Venerable Myriad Evil was seriously injured. He took out an immortal pill and swallowed it, not caring if the medicinal effect was strong or not. Lin Fei was also not feeling well at this moment. Venerable Su Feng's strength was terrifying. That shock was still affecting him. If you have the ability, then go and capture Venerable Su Feng alive. Lin Fei said coldly, my injuries aren't any lighter than yours, but I still almost died. Venerable Su Tian Yi. When Venerable Su Feng's body exploded, the result could be imagined when Venerable Su Feng attacked again. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil harumphed. If my true body strength had recovered to its peak, I would be a high-level celestial venerable expert after all. Capturing that little kid would be as easy as saying a word. Lin Fei sneered again. Why don't you take a look at who beat you up like a dead dog just now? You still have the nerve to brag here. You're lucky you didn't get killed. Venus Lee, King Myriad Venerable Emperor King, Saint King God, Chun King Evil was King was Yi, Tian Tian Lord King. God is as King was Venerable, Master is Venade Wan Xian Venerable King King. You're really thick-skinned, constantly pasting gold on your face. Lin Fei thought that he was thick-skinned. But now, compared to Venerable Myriad Evil was much thicker than him. Oh right, how did you capture Venerable Su Feng? Venerable Myriad Evil took an immortal pill and stabilized his injury. He curiously asked, that girl should be a peak low-level immortal venerable. Even this venerable might not be able to capture her. Yet you managed to capture her. I can't help but admire you. Venerable Myriad Evil cursed Lin Fei in his heart. This bastard hid a lot of things. If he had used this move, he would have been the first immortal venerable to be captured alive. Didn't you also hide something? That black needle was emitting an evil aura. Why didn't you take it out earlier? Lin Fei also saw the treasure that Venerable Reincarnation used to attack Venerable Reincarnation. Myriad Evil Immortal Paragon said, "That's something that can't be shown in public and is useless against you. It's targeted at people with weak bodies. As long as Reincarnation Immortal Paragon deduces the position of his main body, his body will be heavily injured. Every time he is heavily injured, his injuries will worsen. As long as time passes, Reincarnation Immortal Paragon will die. No wonder you are so at ease now. This venerable has already used a secret technique to conceal himself. Even though Venerable Reincarnation's injuries have healed, it is still difficult for him to deduce our exact position. He can only barely deduce a direction." Lin Fei felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his shoulders. Being hunted down by someone who has deduced his position is the most depressing thing. Everything is in the hands of the other party. There is nothing more uncomfortable than this. Lin Fei gained a new understanding of the power of an immortal venerable. Venerable Su Feng has a great background, right? Lin Fei thought of an important matter. "You think so too?" Lin Fei nodded. "Venerable Tianyi and Venerable Reincarnation are too crazy. They almost killed you. This is enough to prove that this woman's background is not small. She is also very strong." Before making a move, Lin Fei reminded him that Venerable Su Feng's attack had blasted into the depths of the void. If not for the world storm, that attack would have injured him. Her background should not be small. Venerable Myriad Evil also thought so. How are you going to deal with this little girl? According to this venerable, it is better to use her as a cauldron. She is a good thing. Otherwise, if the person behind Venerable Su Feng appears, you will not have a good time. Lin Fei laughed heartily. "You're mistaken. I was the one who captured Immortal Supremacy, Su Feng. Unfortunately, no one saw me do it. Everyone thought that you did it. Immortal Supremacy, Infinite Evil. You're going to become famous soon." Venerable Myriad Evil's complexion suddenly changed. "You tricked me. In any case, you are very famous. Back then, you were infamous. It doesn't matter if there is one more." Lin Fei just wanted to strike a blow at Venerable Myriad Evil. "You are really shameless." Venerable Myriad Evil couldn't wait to kill Lin Fei. Believe it or not, this venerable will tell them that it was you, Lin Fei, who captured Venerable Su Feng. Lin Fei disagreed. "Don't even think about it. Just be a scapegoat. Do you think that anyone will believe you? That is an immortal venerable. Although I have some fame in the myriad heavens world, no one will think that I can capture an immortal venerable alive. You are in the light. I am in the dark. This is the best way to cooperate." After hearing these words, Venerable Myriad Evil seemed to see himself becoming famous once again. Perhaps the experts of the Immortal Lyceum will issue a kill order soon. Just like what Lin Fei said, Venerable Myriad Evil couldn't deny it because no one would believe his words. During the Immortal Lyceum era, he was notorious. 10 out of 10 words were false. If others heard it, they would only think that he was looking for an excuse to make a scapegoat. Venerable Myriad Evil suffered a blow. He could only heal his injuries and comfort his wounded heart. Lin Fei didn't stay idle either. He also took out an immortal pill to recover from his injuries. 10 days later, Lin Fei opened his eyes. His injuries had healed. During this period, he had taken a lot of immortal pills. At the same time, he was amazed at the power of immortal venerables. Venerable Tianyi and Venerable Reincarnation strength was only at the same level as Venerable Myriad Evil. Even if Lin Fei fought with them, his body could barely withstand it. Venerable Su Feng was different. Her strength as a peak-level, low-level immortal venerable had increased by several times. No wonder Venerable Myriad Evil was injured with just a casual attack. After recovering from my injuries, I can go and see Venerable Su Feng. It's best to find out the origin of this woman. This time, Lin Fei didn't enter with his main body. Instead, his divine sense turned into an avatar and entered the heaven and earth furnace. He wanted to have a good talk with Venerable Su Feng. The heaven and earth furnace was filled with flames. At this time, the sky was filled with flames, forming a cage. Venerable Su Feng was sitting quietly inside this cage. Apart from the crazy flame cage at the beginning, Venerable Su Feng didn't attack again. The flame cage was so tough that even if Venerable Su Feng attacked it for 10,000 years, she still wouldn't be able to break it. That being the case, there was no need to attack the flame cage. "You're here." Venerable Su Feng spoke in a cold tone. Venerable Su Feng has a keen perception. "You knew me as soon as I came in." Lin Fei appeared in front of the flame cage, and the flames in front of him dissipated. "Di Tian, are you the reincarnation of a deity?" Suddenly, Venerable Su Feng's eyes flashed with cold light as she stared at Lin Fei. "I don't know what you're talking about." Lin Fei's expression didn't change. "I'm afraid you've mistaken me for someone else." Venerable Su Feng sneered. "The dignified great metropolis world's realm lord. Di Tian, when did you become so timid? This is not in line with your style. If you have the ability to capture me, why don't you have the ability to admit it?" Seeing that the other party had revealed his background, Lin Fei knew that he couldn't hide it anymore. Obviously, the other party had recognized him. "I didn't expect that Venerable Su Feng would remember my name. I'm a little flattered. I don't know what to say." Lin Fei chuckled as a throne appeared behind him, and he sat down. Venerable Su Feng's face was still cold. "Di Tian, ever since you became famous in the myriad heavens world, our immortal Lyceum has been collecting information about you. I was fortunate enough to see the information. The evaluation on it is very high. You will become an immortal venerable. The only thing I didn't expect is that you have hidden yourself so deeply. Even my immortal venerable's power shook you, yet you didn't die. It seems that Venerable Wan Xie outside has been subdued by you. This woman is really smart." Lin Fei couldn't help but think of Lu Ziyue. "She is also very smart like this woman." "You're very smart." Lin Fei gave a thumbs up. "You can even guess this. Unfortunately, you guessed wrong. Venerable Wan Xie has not been subdued. He was forced to become my guard. Once he is stronger than me, I will let him go. I'm afraid that Venerable Wan Xie will never have the chance to be free in this life." Lin Fei knew that this woman is not easy to deal with. "I don't think it's a good thing to be a woman who is too smart." Lin Fei looked at Venerable Su Feng and said, "You are so smart. Why don't you guess why I asked you to come here? You really want to know my background." Venerable Su Feng said, "Venerable Tianyi, Venerable Reincarnation's actions made you feel pressured, so you want to know." Lin Fei didn't want to go on anymore. This woman is too smart. "Before that, I really want to know your background." Lin Fei said, "However, I now think that a smart and arrogant woman like you should change your attitude. Therefore, I'm afraid that I have decided to reform this arrogant, venerable immortal." Chapter 1418. Venerable Su Feng was cold, arrogant, and noble. Being suppressed in the flame cage, she did not show the slightest bit of panic and remained calm as if nothing could threaten her. Lin Fei was very unhappy with this attitude. He felt that it was necessary to let Venerable Su Feng know what realm she was at now. Two flame giants came out of the flame, their bodies exuding the might of flames as they rushed into the flame cage and lashed out with their flame whips. "Venerable Su Feng, you can slowly enjoy this feeling. We will talk about this another day." Lin Fei's divine sense dispersed and left the heaven and earth furnace. In the flame cage, Venerable Su Feng's beautiful eyes flashed with a strange light. She had calculated everything, but she did not expect that the other party would take the initiative to leave and leave behind two puppets. Die. A cold light flashed in her beautiful eyes as her jade-like hands slapped the two flame giants. This time, Venerable Su Feng lost her plan. The flame giants did not move at all, and the flame whips hit her body. Hua! Divine fire burned over. Venerable Su Feng coldly snorted. Her body shook and the flame was shattered, but it immediately recovered. It stuck to her body and did not leave, even drilling into her body. Di Tian, you underestimate me too much. After leaving the heaven and earth furnace, Lin Fei slightly frowned. This venerable Su Feng had a great background and was too calm. Divine fire can destroy everything. After a long time, venerable Su Feng will naturally not be able to hold on. I don't believe that she won't beg for mercy and change her attitude. Lin Fei thought, sweeping away his previous depressed mood. Did she get the answer? Venerable Myriad Evil wanted to know more than anyone else. When he saw Lin Fei come out, his ears pricked up. This woman is very smart. Both of us have underestimated her. Lin Fei simply explained the situation inside. In any case, it was not a secret. Venerable Myriad Evil frowned. You have made me miserable. Venerable Myriad Evil complained incessantly. Venerable Su Feng had a great background, so Lin Fei was not afraid of her. He took out the previous map and said, Come over and look at this map. Do you know the places marked on it? Lin Fei was very open-minded. He had to deal with it when it came. Under such circumstances, he had to capture Venerable Su Feng. Fortunately, everything went according to plan. Among the three venerables, Venerable Su Feng was the strongest, so her life was no longer threatened. Star Stone. Exalted Myriad Evil immediately recognized it. You want to use it? Cut the crap. Are there any star stones on the map? Lin Fei didn't want to waste any more time. He took out his cauldron. As long as Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil said no, he would immediately throw it over. Immortal Monarch Myriad Evil cursed inwardly for being shameless. He pointed at a few points on the map and said, This map of yours is probably outdated. The land of extermination moves every year. Every 10,000 years, the surrounding terrain is constantly changing. There are no more star stones on the map. Seeing Lin Fei's unsightly expression, Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil added, However, there is a place in the 6th region that is completely made of star stones. Rumor has it that it's a world that loves star stones. That world is rich in star stones. Whether it's their residence, senfu, or weapons, they are all made of star stones. Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. Let's go to the 6th region immediately. In the land of extermination, Lin Fei only cared about star stones. This was the best way to increase his strength quickly. Now he had also captured Venerable Su Feng, a person with a great background. Not long after, Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil would become the target of pursuit. Lin Fei had to consider for himself. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil revealed a fearful expression. Are we really going to the 6th region? Why not? Lin Fei's eyes flashed with a cold light. The 6th region isn't safe. Immortal Venerables can move around in the 5th region. There are world annihilation giants in the next layer. If we encounter one, we... Speaking of the world annihilation giants, even the bold Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil revealed a fearful expression. What is a world annihilation giant? Let's hear it. The world annihilation giants are born in the land of extermination. They absorb all the negative emotions in the land of extermination, as well as immortal venerable secret arts and divine abilities. Once they are born, their strength will reach the immortal venerable level. The strongest one is rumored to be comparable to a mighty ruler. Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil said, The world annihilation giants are divided into black-robed world annihilation giants, silver-robed world annihilation giants, and finally, gold-robed world annihilation giants. Lin Fei believed that Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil wouldn't dare to lie. Spiritual sense fluctuations couldn't be concealed. So, you've encountered one before? Yes, I've encountered one once. That time, I encountered a black-robed world annihilation giant. The other party used an immortal, venerable secret art and almost killed me. The stone coffin of evil was also almost destroyed. It took 10 chaos years to repair. Speaking of this matter, immortal sovereign myriad evil still remembered it clearly. Lin Fei sucked in a breath of cold air. The sixth region was actually so dangerous. Immortal sovereign myriad evil had an immortal venerable treasure, the stone coffin of evil, and was extremely powerful. He had only managed to take it by surprise. But in the hands of the black-robed world annihilation giant, he was almost killed in an instant. No wonder he was willing to go to the sixth region. Are there any sky star stones in the fifth layer? Lin Fei asked again. Very few. Immortal sovereign myriad evil said. Almost all of them have gone to the sixth region. With how dangerous the sixth region was, Lin Fei didn't dare to take the risk. His body might not be able to withstand a world annihilation giant's attack. A single punch would blow his body up. Lin Fei planned to search for sky star stones in the fifth region. But now that he heard that there were only a few, wasn't this forcing him to go to the sixth region? Actually, Lin Fei could collect immortal venerable Dao tree fragments in the fifth region and slowly improve his true self Great Dao. This was a relatively time-consuming matter. More importantly, the current situation didn't allow Lin Fei to do so. It was more difficult for Lin Fei to break through to the immortal, venerable level than others. The true self Great Dao tree within his body's true self Great Dao was growing very slowly. Perhaps it would only reach a limit of 999,999 feet. Lin Fei didn't hope to break through in a short time. Sky star stones were the only way to improve. Hearing that there were no sky star stones in the fifth region, this was equivalent to forcing Lin Fei to go to the sixth region. If he really found a place full of sky star stones, he could cultivate the ruler's secret art on the stone steel. The immortal court, the experts of the forsaken land of immortals. Lin Fei had gained some experience. Once this place ended, the myriad worlds would probably start to fall into chaos. Lin Fei wasn't willing to miss such an opportunity. Even if the sixth region was filled with danger, he still had to fight for it. Let's go to the sixth region. Lin Fei pulled immortal sovereign myriad evil. He didn't care if the other party agreed or not. He controlled the myriad evil sarcophagus and flew towards the sixth region. Crazy, you're crazy! Immortal sovereign myriad evil yelled. With the world annihilation giant here, we're dead for sure! Whether it was the silver-robed world annihilation giant or the black-robed world annihilation giant, as long as they encountered one, they would be prepared to flee. Immortal sovereign myriad evil wished he could immediately run away and leave this madman. But with the oath to the heavenly Tao, immortal sovereign myriad evil could only curse. Chapter 1419. Sixth Region. This was a place filled with danger. 3 powerful immortal venerables carefully advanced, activating their immortal venerables' treasures to clear the hidden dangers ahead. Although the 3 immortal venerables were careful, a crack suddenly appeared in the void on the left. One of the immortal venerables was sucked in and couldn't even stop it in time. The other 2 immortal venerables wanted to help, but the immortal venerables disappeared without a trace. What a terrifying spatial crack! The remaining 2 immortal venerables didn't dare to move further away. This kind of situation often happened in the sixth region. It was almost impossible to survive after being sucked into a spatial crack. Sixth region. Tianyi immortal venerables and reincarnation immortal venerables were standing in a palace. Both of them had their heads lowered. In front of them, a youth sat on a golden horse and a saber. He had delicate features but exuded a supreme majesty. It was as if he was looking down on the world, representing the world. On the left and right, there were expressionless, black-robed, immortal venerables. If someone was knowledgeable, they would be able to recognize them at a glance. They were puppets. They were extremely expensive puppets in the universe. Such a puppet was priceless and not something an ordinary immortal venerables could afford. Without a certain amount of wealth, one shouldn't even think about buying one. Such an immortal venerable puppet was priceless and could make countless people envious. And now there were a total of 8 immortal venerables standing on the left and right sides. What a luxurious lineup! This youth had a great background. 2 useless things. The youth on the throne shouted lightly. Tianyi immortal venerables and reincarnation immortal venerables were sent flying. They coughed out blood and their faces turned pale. These were 2 immortal venerables. But these 2 immortal venerables were as weak as ants in front of this youth. Tianyi immortal venerables and reincarnation immortal venerables' eyes were filled with fear. Young master, we know our mistakes. Please give us another chance. We will definitely find immortal venerables, immortal venerables. Tianyi immortal venerables and reincarnation immortal venerables crawled up and knelt on the floor of the palace, begging. Seeing that you are working for the immortal court and did your best, I can spare you from death, but you cannot escape punishment. The youth said lightly, Let's go to Great Azura Hell. The youth waved his hand and Tianyi immortal venerables and reincarnation immortal venerables fell into his palm. At this moment, the youth's left hand had transformed into the grand overarching hell. With a flip of the young man's hand, the Heaven Fortune Immortal Exalt and the Reincarnation Immortal Exalt appeared once again. In that instant, they experienced endless pain. They had experienced 100 years of torture. Thank you, young master, for not killing us. The 2 of them said in unison. Tianyi Immortal Venerable and Reincarnation Immortal Venerable felt gratitude amidst their fear. Black 7, Black 8, go with them and bring back Immortal Venerable Myriad Evil's head. Also, bring back Fairy Sufong. The 2 puppet Immortal Venerables, standing at the end, stepped forward and knelt down on one knee. Understood. I told you not to come. Look at you now. The 6th zone. After 15 years, Lin Fei and Myriad Evil Immortal Sovereign arrived at the 6th region. As soon as they entered the 6th zone, Lin Fei, who was controlling the 1,000 Evil sarcophagus, encountered a spatial tear and nearly fell into it. Cold sweat covered Celestial Monarch 10,000 Evil's forehead. Left with no choice, Celestial Monarch 10,000 Evil had to personally control the sarcophagus to prevent it from falling into another spatial tear. The danger of the 6th zone was beyond Lin Fei's expectations. In this area, there were a large number of traces of divine abilities and secret techniques that did not dissipate even after a long time. The spatial cracks were left behind by the battle. They were usually hidden in the void, but if one accidentally encountered them, one would be drawn into them and drift in millions of spaces. In less than a month, Lin Fei and Celestial Monarch 10,000 Evil encountered no less than 100 spatial tears and were almost sucked into them several times. It could be said that they were scared out of their wits. The only fortunate thing was that they didn't encounter the world destroyer giant for the time being. The spatial tears were a danger. Apart from that, the aura of the secret techniques left behind by the rulers in this level was also extremely shocking. There were several times when the 1,000 Evil sarcophagus was shaken, causing them to vomit blood. This was just the remnant aura, but it was already unbearable, not to mention the aura of the peak. As a result, Lin Fei didn't dare to ask Celestial Monarch 10,000 Evil to be too fast. As long as they could reach that place, it would be fine. Celestial Monarch 10,000 Evil couldn't wait to leave. Even Celestial Monarch didn't dare to come to the 6th zone. Only a madman like Lin Fei dared to come here, and it was for the Heavenly Starstone, a material that was about to be eliminated. Soon, along the way, there were dangers, but fortunately they managed to figure it out. The upgrade system wasn't in vain. After calculating and researching, a relatively safe path was simulated. Lin Fei heaved a sigh of relief. He didn't have to worry like before. Lin Fei had time to cultivate his body. During this period, Lin Fei checked the situation of Celestial Monarch Su Feng in the Heaven and Earth Furnace. This woman also had some means to resist the attacks of the flame giants. Lin Fei didn't care. There was no immortal chi in the heaven and earth furnace. After a long time, it would naturally be time for celestial monarch Su Feng to lower her head. If he successfully cultivated the secret technique left by the rulers, it would be easier for celestial monarch Su Feng to speak. Bang! In the world of 10,000 evil, Lin Fei suddenly vomited a mouthful of blood. His body swelled and was on the verge of exploding. Bang! Before activating the great Tao of true self, the stone coffin of 10,000 evil shook again. Lin Fei's body exploded on the spot, turning into a black fog and reforming into a person. Celestial monarch 10,000 evil, what are you doing? On the other side, celestial monarch 10,000 evil's body was also shattered. World-destroying giant, we have encountered a black-clothed world-destroying giant. Celestial monarch 10,000 evil was about to cry. It wasn't easy for them to be safe, but they suddenly encountered a world-destroying giant. Lin Fei used his divine sense to take a look. A black-clothed giant stood between heaven and earth, exuding an immortal monarch aura. Once again, he slammed his palm over, and an invisible power enveloped the stone coffin of 10,000 evil. Special life form. This is a special life form. Lin Fei used his divine sense to scan and immediately recognized it. This was a special life form born between heaven and earth. No wonder it was so strong. It attacked twice in a row and shattered his body. The stone coffin of 10,000 evil shook again, and cracks began to appear. The strength of the black-clothed world-destroying giant was monstrous. Lin Fei himself was full of fear for the black-clothed world-destroying giant. This was simply an invincible existence. Let's go. The immortal monarch treasure cauldron was thrown out, and it crashed into the black-clothed world-destroying giant. This collision caused celestial monarch 10,000 evil to vomit blood, but the black-clothed world-destroying giant didn't react at all. Even the immortal monarch treasure was useless. Lin Fei's attack gave celestial monarch 10,000 evil an opportunity. The stone coffin of 10,000 evil rushed out and continuously jumped in the void, pushing it to the limit. Do you see that? That's the world-destroying giant, and it's a black-clothed world-destroying giant. Celestial monarch 10,000 evil was covered in blood. We're finished. Once we're targeted, no one can escape. Dong, 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 the black-clothed world-destroying giant's body swayed, and his huge body grew to 9 zhang tall. It was rumored that this height was the best height for battle, and it could perfectly unleash its power. There's a spatial crack in front. Be careful and avoid it. Let the black-clothed world-destroying giant go in. Lin Fei had been exploring with his divine sense, and he found a spatial crack. Celestial monarch 10,000 evil carefully avoided it, and the black-clothed world-destroying giant behind him charged forward in a straight line. He directly collided with the spatial crack, and half of his body fell inside. The two were overjoyed. This time, he wouldn't be able to catch up. However, the result was shocking. The black-clothed world-destroying giant, who was about to be sucked in, turned into a towering giant again. He clenched his fists and fiercely attacked the spatial crack. He rushed out and chased after them again. What the hell? Celestial monarch 10,000 evil also said, what the hell? The two had no choice but to activate the stone coffin of 10,000 evil again. The black-clothed world-destroying giant was too ferocious, and he could even resist the suction of the spatial crack. How could they have fun like this? The black-clothed world-destroying giant chased for an entire year. During this time, they almost caught up several times and fell into the black-clothed world-destroying giant's hands. For example, right now, the distance between them was only hundreds of millions of miles. It seemed very far, but it was actually very close. The black-clothed world-destroying giant's speed was average, which was why they couldn't catch up for the time being. How did you shake off the world-destroying giant back then? During this year, Lin Fei's nerves had been tense, and it was all because the black-clothed world-destroying giant was chasing after them without letting go. Be careful, it's coming again. The black-clothed world-destroying giant shot forward. The void seemed to be compressed, and the black stone coffin immediately slowed down. Go! A piece of extreme ice flew out and exploded in front of the black-clothed world-destroying giant, turning into a cold current and freezing him into an ice sculpture. Only then did the void return to normal, and the black stone coffin sped away. Crack, crack, crack! In 3 breaths, the black-clothed world-destroying giant shattered the ice and chased after them again. Last time, we were lucky and broke into a palace. That palace had a large number of restrictive arrays, so the black-clothed world-destroying giant couldn't enter. But now, where can we find a palace? Celestial Monarch 10,000, Evil complained. He had been revived with great difficulty, and with the help of the stone coffin of 10,000 Evil, he was living a good life in the world extermination land. As long as he was given time, he would be able to recover his peak strength. Ever since he got involved with Lin Fei, his life had not been good. First, he was born early and his strength was damaged. His immortal demon treasure was taken away, and he even became Lin Fei's personal guard. Then he was chased by celestial monarchs, and now he was chased by the black-clothed world-destroying giant. These were not the days that celestial monarch 10,000 Evil wanted to live. All of this was because of Lin Fei. How far do you think the Sky Star Stone is? Lin Fei suddenly asked. In order to preserve the palace well, Lin Fei had not encountered such a thing along the way. Broken walls were everywhere, and he could not find a single place that was in good condition. You said that there would be a complete array formation there. The Sky Star Stone was hard, and this made Celestial Monarch 10,000 Evil's eyes light up. Perhaps this was their hope. It's not far. We just need to hold on a little longer. They did not have many choices now. If they encountered another world-destroying giant, they would not be so lucky. Chapter 1420. Young Master's treasure is so powerful. The dangerous 6th region. Tianyi Immortal Supremacy and Reincarnation Immortal Supremacy continued on their way. Their injuries had completely recovered. At this moment, the 2 of them activated a circular treasure and released its power, sweeping away the hidden dangers. Black 7 and Black 8 Immortal Supremacies stood at the side expressionlessly. The 2 Immortal Supremacies were already used to it. In the east, Reincarnation Immortal Supremacy's eyes shot out a cold light. Myriad Evil Immortal Supremacy isn't alone, but with 2 people. With the Divine Diviner's Fragment that young Master gave me, my Immortal Supremacy divination technique has become even more accurate. The 2 of them were filled with anger when they mentioned Myriad Evil Immortal Supremacy. They were so close to dying. They could not forget the pain of 100 years. They would never enter again in this life. Myriad Evil Immortal Supremacy and his companion definitely won't be able to escape this time. Tianyi Immortal Supremacy shot out a cold light. Boom! Boom! The black-clothed world destroyer giant chased them for 2 years. In these 2 years, the black-clothed world destroyer giant seemed to have locked onto Lin Fei. No matter how they escaped, he always followed behind and used celestial supremacy secret techniques from time to time. We're almost there. Myriad Evil Immortal Supremacy's face was pale. His powerful celestial supremacy body was starting to feel weak in front of the black-clothed world destroyer giant. He had to take immortal pills to heal every month. In these 2 years, he had consumed a lot of energy. Fortunately, Myriad Evil Immortal Supremacy saw a glimmer of hope. As long as they entered that region, everything would be fine. Lin Fei was better off than Myriad Evil Immortal Supremacy, but only by a little. Every time the black-clothed world destroyer giant attacked, his body would be heavily injured. In these 2 years, he had experienced countless life and death situations. The danger of the sixth region was truly beyond imagination. 3 months later, myriad evil immortal supremacy activated the 10,000 evil stone coffin and entered a densely packed palace range. Each palace emitted a faint array power. This was a well-preserved place. The palace was not too damaged, and the array power enveloped the surroundings. Once their 10,000 evil stone coffin entered the palace, it was attacked by the array power. We can't fly anymore. During the short journey of 15 million kilometers, they had been attacked by the array formation's power more than 10 times. Immortal, sovereign, infinite evil suggested that if this continued, they would either be killed by the array formation's power or by the black-clothed world destroyer giant behind them. Lin Fei cursed at venerable myriad evil. This fellow was unreliable. You knew so much about the power of the formation, yet you still barged in. Immortal, sovereign, myriad evil was sullen. This is my first time here. Who knows? The two of them gave up on the 10,000 evil sarcophagus. Lin Fei put it away and descended from the sky, flying forward at a low altitude. In the sky, a huge hand grabbed at the two of them. Bang! The power of the claw swept past the two of them. Be it Lin Fei or Immortal Monarch Infinite Evil, they were sent flying. Immortal Monarch Infinite Evil was more unlucky. His body was torn apart by the aftershock. Lin Fei, on the other hand, managed to stabilize his body with the support of the great Tao of True Self. However, he was also severely injured. This battle prowess is really terrifying. Lin Fei flew at a low altitude, jumping from side to side of the palace. The black-clothed world destroyer giant turned into a giant and smashed the palaces one after another. The powerful formation's power was completely shattered. The black-clothed world destroyer giant's body was so strong that the formation's power couldn't do any damage to it. The Starstone Palace is right ahead. The two of them didn't know how long they flew, but their expressions were getting uglier and uglier. Suddenly, Immortal Sovereign Myriad Evil's voice was heard. A neat row of palaces appeared in front of Lin Fei like a huge millstone. Starstones! In front of him was a majestic palace. Among the many other palaces, it stood out like a sore thumb. The heavenly star stones flickered and Lin Fei's eyes lit up. Supreme-grade starstones. Those flickering colors were all from the supreme-grade starstones. This is great. There's so many supreme-grade starstones in this place, and they aren't affected by the land of destruction. Now I'm lucky. As long as I refine these starstones, this black-clothed world destroyer giant won't be invincible. Lin Fei believed that his body was 10 times stronger than before. It was enough for him to fight against the black-clothed world destroyer giant. At the very least, he would be able to leave safely. Whoosh, the black-clothed world destroyer giant grabbed again, and a terrifying power enveloped the two of them. Go in! Lin Fei flashed into a golden palace. He couldn't care less. The black-clothed world destroyer giant's grab had activated the power of the palace's formation, and it directly took most of the force. This time, the black-clothed world destroyer giant was angry and attacked continuously. Many palaces shook, and the power of the formation was activated. They all attacked the black-clothed world destroyer giant and were drowned in the attacks. Lin Fei let out a long sigh of relief and flew toward the center of the palace in front of him. We're safe for now. Immortal Lord Myriad Evil suddenly said, I didn't expect this place to be a natural formation. Not only did the world destroyer giant not destroy them, but it also connected the formation's power. There's such a thing. Lin Fei used his divine sense and sensed a trace of a common fluctuation. These palaces were unknowingly connected. Once one was activated, it would trigger the power of the other palace's formation. The black-clothed world destroyer giant didn't understand this. He attacked with all his strength and activated a large portion of the formation's power. It's a wise move for us to come down and fly. Otherwise, we'll end up like the black-clothed world destroyer giant. They only stopped after flying for hundreds of millions of miles. At this time, the black-clothed world destroyer giant was surrounded by the formation's power. They couldn't suppress the black-clothed world destroyer giant, and now he was enveloped by the formation's power. He couldn't break free for a while and kept attacking the formation's power. Immortal Lord Myriad Evil still had lingering fears. This star world that was built with starstones shouldn't be that simple. Maybe the power of these palaces' formation was connected back then. Lin Fei didn't think too much. What he needed to do now was to improve his physical body. The feeling of being beaten up was really unpleasant. Let's look ahead. Lin Fei flashed and flew forward. Immortal Lord Myriad Evil chased after him. This area was very large, covering an area of tens of billions of miles. Within his field of vision were palaces made of starstones, one after another. There were even lifelike statues made of starstones. But at this time, this area was quiet. Lin Fei didn't find any other immortal lords. It seemed like the two of them were the only ones left. This was good, as it saved him a lot of trouble. The mountain range below actually contains 90% of starstones. On a mountain range, Lin Fei was shocked once again. It was very rare to see a mountain of starstones, but now it was a mountain range. Chapter 14:21. You just need to help me collect the starstones. You don't have to worry about anything else. Lin Fei didn't answer Immortal Lord Myriad Evil and sent him to collect the starstones. Then he blasted open the mountain where the starstones were and entered the mountain range. This bastard! Immortal Lord Myriad Evil cursed and went to collect the starstones. In the depths of the mountain range, Lin Fei used his 3 heads and 6 arms to grab large pieces of starstones and quickly turn them into supreme grade points. At Lin Fei's realm, his body was almost as strong as a low-level immortal venerable's body. With a casual grab, a large number of starstones were collected into the system storage and turned into a steady stream of supreme grade points. When the supreme grade points reached a certain number, Lin Fei could finally stop and activate time acceleration to focus on cultivating his body. Now that he was in a treasure mountain, how could Lin Fei return empty-handed? He didn't dare to touch those palaces for the time being, but he didn't have to worry about the starstones under the mountain range. 100 years, 500 years. Under time acceleration, Lin Fei's body began to improve again. The great Tao of truth and his body's compatibility was also increasing. 3,000 years. Lin Fei's body had already fused with 3,000 divine bodies, each of which was a peak-grade body. With the fusion of 3,000 divine bodies, his defense was greatly improved. Now he wouldn't be seriously injured by the black-clothed giant's attack. This wasn't enough. Lin Fei wanted to crush the black-clothed giant head-on. 3,000 divine bodies were comparable to an immortal venerable's body, but in his opinion, this wasn't enough. He needed to improve it again. In 6,000 years, he fused 4,000 divine bodies. In 13,000 years, he fused 5,000 divine bodies. Immortal Lord Myriad Evil collected the starstones every day. As an immortal venerable, he could naturally sense that Lin Fei's body was getting stronger day by day, and the aura of the tyrant body. What the hell? This guy's body is improving every day. What kind of elixir did he eat? Immortal Lord Myriad Evil was shocked when he threw the storage ring with starstones again. Could it be that Lin Fei isn't an ordinary person, but the reincarnation of an ancient immortal venerable, or even a ruler? Otherwise, how could this be explained? The more immortal sovereign Myriad Evil thought about it, the more he felt it was possible. As Lin Fei's physical body improved, immortal venerable Myriad Evil's confidence began to waver. With an invincible physical body, how could he fight in the future? in the mountain range, day after day, year after year. In the heavenly star-stone mountain range, Lin Fei had cultivated for 30 years. However, under the acceleration of time, he had cultivated for 50,000 years. This was also because he had a large number of starstones, which allowed him to accelerate time to the maximum. Lin Fei was filthy rich now, so he didn't care about the consumption of points. After 50,000 years, he had fused with 8,000 god bodies. His soul consciousness scanned through his body and found that each part of his body contained a god body. Each of them was a peerless god body that could make people jealous. With the fusion of 8,000 divine physiques, Lin Fei's body automatically exuded the aura of an invincible divine physique. This was something that could only be achieved by merging 8,000 godly physiques. Now that I have merged 8,000 godly physiques, I can directly use 3 heads and 6 arms. My physical body is invincible. Even the black-clothed world destroyer giant can only stare at me. Lin Fei had the urge to go out and fight with the black-clothed world destroyer giant, but he forcibly held back and didn't rush out. The black-clothed world destroyer giant outside was enveloped by the power of the formation and still hadn't escaped. He attacked non-stop every day, but Lin Fei wasn't in a hurry to deal with him. I have already merged 8,000 godly physiques. It's time to cultivate the ruler's secret technique on the stone steel. The reason why celestial venerables were so powerful was because they cultivated celestial venerable level secret techniques and divine abilities. They could sweep through everything. In addition, their incomparably thick, great Tao power had become celestial venerable level power. The quality of their power had increased and changed. The Great Sword Qi secret technique is already at its peak. I'll think about it after breaking through to the celestial venerable level secret technique. The Great Sword Qi secret technique itself was a ruler secret technique. Lin Fei didn't need to think about anything else when cultivating. He just needed to keep improving. Previously, after reaching the 4th level, it was very difficult to improve the Great Sword Qi secret technique. Most importantly, he didn't have many supreme grade points left, so he could only put it aside for now. Lin Fei once again activated time acceleration. However, immortal venerable level had to suffer. He kept collecting starstones and became a bitter laborer, working day and night. Improving a celestial venerable level secret technique was harder than imagined. This was a metamorphosis of a level. Under time acceleration, Lin Fei used supreme grade experience stones day and night to improve it. It took him 3,000 years and a large number of supreme grade points to break through to the celestial venerable level secret technique in one go. The Great Sword Qi secret technique itself was a ruler secret technique. After entering the celestial venerable level secret technique, its power surpassed that of a celestial venerable level secret technique. The 5 Great Sword Qi secret techniques underwent a qualitative change. Each Great Sword Qi was golden and hundreds of millions of miles long. The power of one sword could destroy heaven and earth. It couldn't be compared to the previous 4th level. Only now did Lin Fei realize how terrifying the power of the stone steel's secret technique was. Only Lin Fei could successfully cultivate this kind of ruler secret technique. Others wouldn't be able to cultivate more than a few ruler secret techniques in their lifetime. If I slash down with this sword, even the black-clothed world destroyer giant will be severely injured. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. In order to break through to the celestial venerable level secret technique, he had almost used up all his supreme grade points. Lin Fei, how long do you want this venerable level to collect starstones? Immortal venerable level returned after collecting starstones. When he saw that Lin Fei had woken up, he naturally had to complain. Did you think of Lin Fei shot out a great sword qi from his eyes and gently slashed at immortal venerable level. Immortal Venerable level was cut in two and fell to the ground, blood flowing everywhere. Your secret technique. Immortal Venerable level reassembled and stared at Lin Fei, almost speechless. He was an Immortal Venerable level, yet he was cut in two by a sword. What kind of joke was this? Previously, Lin Fei's attack could only make him vomit blood. Moreover, he had to borrow an Immortal Venerable level treasure. But now, Immortal Venerable level couldn't believe that a person could improve to this level. My secret technique has already reached the Immortal Venerable level. Immortal Venerable level shook his head desperately. Impossible. An Immortal Venerable level secret technique can't be this powerful. Moreover, you haven't reached the Immortal Venerable level. So how can you cultivate such a powerful Immortal Venerable level secret technique? Nothing is impossible. Lin Fei withdrew the great sword Qi and said lightly, "The only thing you need to do now is to continuously collect star stones." Immortal Venerable level was completely defeated by the great sword Qi. He was truly convinced. He was an expert of the Immortal Lyceum era. To be able to cut him in two with a sword meant that he was a peak Immortal Venerable level expert in the Immortal Lyceum era. "I will go collect them immediately," Immortal Venerable level hurriedly said. Lin Fei threw the Immortal Venerable level treasure to Immortal Venerable level and unlocked his spiritual consciousness. It was a treasure without any treasure. Immortal Venerable level treasure was no longer joyful. Even if he had an Immortal Venerable level treasure, he wouldn't be a match for a freak like Lin Fei. Great Sword Qi secret technique had already reached the Immortal Venerable level. Lin Fei didn't improve it for the time being. The next level was simply too difficult. He still needed a huge amount of star stones. Right now, Lin Fei didn't have that much time to cultivate. With his divine physique and Immortal Venerable level, Great Sword Qi secret technique, he would be able to protect himself in this world extermination land. We're here. Immortal Venerable level is in this area. Immortal Venerable level Sky Fortune and Immortal Venerable level Reincarnation found this area. The moment the two arrived, they immediately sensed a powerful aura. After searching with their spiritual consciousness, both of them were shocked and their faces turned pale. Black-robed world, destroying giant. Both of them spat out the same sentence. Black-robed world, destroying giant was a terrifying existence that even they would tremble in fear upon seeing. "Do you think we should leave first?" The celestial immortal was afraid. Without waiting for Reincarnation Immortal Venerable to speak, Black 7 and Black 8's puppet Immortal Venerables shot out cold gleams, and their hearts sank to the bottom. Immortal Venerable Infinite Evil is nearby. You two go and find him immediately. The black-clothed world destroyer giant is trapped by the array's power, and he won't be able to come out for a while. The two heaved a sigh of relief. If it wasn't for Black 7 and Black 8 and Young Master's treasures, they wouldn't have dared to come even if they were given 100 guts. They didn't dare to go against the two puppet Immortal Venerables. "I'll calculate it right away." Reincarnation Immortal Venerable suppressed the fear in his heart and deduced again. He soon got a result. Southeast, about 10 billion kilometers away. Go. After being cut in half, Immortal Sovereign Infinite Evil became obedient. With the Celestial Venerate artifact back in his hands, he had been wondering if he should challenge Lin Fei to regain his freedom. However, every time he thought of that sword, he lost all confidence. Back when they fought, the 5 great sword energies had already left him at his wit's end. Now that it had advanced to the Celestial Venerable level secret technique, its power had increased by 100 times. He couldn't think of a way to deal with it. "It's better for me to collect the star stones." Immortal Sovereign Infinite Evil didn't dare to go and destroy the mountains to collect the star stones. At least, the pressure on the black-clothed world destroyer giant had decreased by a lot. Swish, 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 suddenly, Two sharp killing intents locked onto immortal sovereign infinite evil. Two celestial venerable secret techniques attacked from the sky. Immortal sovereign infinite evil activated his celestial venerable treasure and was forced to take a few steps back before stabilizing himself. Immortal sovereign infinite evil, you really know how to run. Celestial venerable sky fortune said sternly. When he saw immortal, sovereign, infinite evil again, it was as if his eyes were spewing fire. "It's you guys." Immortal, sovereign, infinite evil was very surprised. "Your physical body has actually recovered." These words were naturally said to celestial, venerable reincarnation. Celestial, venerable reincarnation suffered a lot last time and was filled with anger towards immortal, sovereign, infinite evil. "Humph, if it wasn't for you, my divination wouldn't have improved. Although you deceived yourself, it's already a piece of cake for me. Today, you won't be able to escape. Just the two of you want to catch me?" Immortal, sovereign, infinite evil laughed. "Hey Chi, hey Ba, two lords, this person is immortal, sovereign, infinite evil." Immortal, sovereign, Su Feng fell into his hands. Celestial, venerable heaven fortune pointed at immortal, sovereign, infinite evil. "You are immortal, sovereign, infinite evil." Two cold and expressionless puppet immortal sovereigns walked out. Puppet immortal sovereigns, peak low-level immortal sovereigns. When the two puppet immortal sovereigns appeared, immortal, sovereign, infinite evil blasted out a killing technique and fled for his life without saying a word. Immortal, sovereign, infinite evil, you can't escape. Celestial, venerable heaven fortune laughed. Celestial, venerable black seven said expressionlessly, "Come back!"